Today's show is brought to you by Lovable. Here we go.
Welcome to Game Week 4. Get ready for 2 hours with action-packed chess blunders, time trouble, and so much fun. Magnus Carlsen, he's won 2 title Tuesdays in a row with 10 points, 10.5 points. Will today be another day where he scores that almost impossible perfect 11 out of 11. Meanwhile, Hikaru Nakamura has struggled so far in the new Title Tuesday format. Will he make it back to the podium today? Welcome everyone to the Premier League of Chess.
Okay, he's gone for this line, looking very, very shaky.
Look at the
Is this a blunder?
He's throwing a thorn into the white side, holding on here for dear life. The nerves are kicking in.
He's playing with ghosts, afraid to commit. The clock is his worst enemy right now.
Did he lose on time?
One wrong move and the whole house falls down.
Whoa, is this a blunder?
Checkmate is coming.
Chess is a fantastic sport, and when it's played online, you get those big reactions. It's a pleasure to welcome everyone back to the Take studio. I'm here with Grandmaster David Howell, who's gonna take all of you through today's moves, today's action. Our pundit, our expert. How are you today, David?
I'm good, Kaya. Week 4, it feels like it's flown by up to this point. I'm always looking forward to Tuesdays by now, and I loved playing in this event. I'm having even more fun commentating on it.
You actually also streamed and played some chess on Friday from the Dave Cave. You played Freestyle Friday, had some great success. What was it like being back in the playing, streaming chair?
Yeah, I must admit I'm rusty these days as a player, but I do enjoy it, and it was nice to see like the fans. There's a community built around, Freestyle Friday, Title Tuesday, all of these events, and I'm hoping they're enjoying what we're trying to build here as well, because it's just a lot of fun to be part of, and the players, they agree to.
Yeah, I have to tell you, David, I've been looking so much forward to today. So we've already done 3 Title Tuesdays. They've been happening at the same time as Grand Swiss. Still, we've seen most of the top players join, but today, do you think we're going to see even more of the top players, more players participating?
I really hope so. Magnus has talked about this himself. When he doesn't play Title Tuesday, he gets FOMO. He's always watching the event, or he's jealous when Hikaru wins the event, that type of thing. So I'm sure there were lots of players at the Grand Swiss who, of course, understandably, were prioritizing that event, trying to qualify for the candidates, but now they have a bit more free time. There's no other big event going on in the world of chess. No excuses.
Exactly.
They've got to be here.
And I have to admit, I'm keeping an eye on the Take app. Already more than 100 players have joined, and still 12 minutes to go before it all kicks off. Now, it's all about qualifying for the Esports World Cup. 13 spots in total up for grabs. Magnus Carlsen as reigning champion. Top 3 players from the Speed Chess Championship and the top 3 players from the Chess.com Global Championship will each go directly to Riyadh. And then every week in Title Tuesday, the top 10 players score points in the Champions Chess Tour. And at the end of the season, the top 6 players in the Champions Chess Tour qualifies for the Esports World Cup. And look at this. Chess made its debut at the EWC this summer, and Magnus Carlsen, playing for Team Liquid, took home the trophy, winning against Falcon's Alireza in the final, and with a prize fund of $1.5 million and so much drama on the board, on the clocks, on the stage. Chess got huge attention worldwide, and now everyone wants to qualify for next year's Esports World Cup. And Title Tuesday, you guys, is the best way to do that. It's now played across 3 splits, the autumn, the winter, and the spring split. And today we kick off game week 4 of the autumn split. Each split has 13 game weeks. Your top 8 results from each split will count towards that Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. And let's take a look At the current Champions Chess Tour standings, Magnus Carlsen is on top and as reigning EWC champ. He is already qualified, meaning it's the 6 spots below him that right now count. And who do you miss on this list, David?
Yeah, there's a lot of big names missing here. I'm especially thinking of India, now a superpower of world chess, Olympiad champions. There's no Indian grandmasters on this list. I'm hoping that now the Grand Swiss is finished, the likes of Pragnananda and Erigaisi, maybe even world champion Gukesh decide to join this week to try and change this situation. Also, it's got to be said, Hikaru Nakamura, he's dominant normally in Title Tuesday, but the first 3 weeks of the autumn split, he's not been himself. He's not been in the conversation for first place. I think he scored his first point last week, but still yet to break into the top 10.
Exactly. We do see players like Magnus Carlsen, of course, Jan Christoph Duda, Alireza Farusha on this list currently, and today more points up for grabs. Hikaru Nakamura fighting hard to grab some more points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. Has he joined yet? 9 minutes to go, you guys. I see no Hikaru Nakamura on this list, but Magnus Carlsen is here. He is ready. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave playing for the first time in the autumn split. Jan Christoph Duda, second place last week. Amazing performance.
Yeah, Duda scored 10 points out of 11.
Wow.
I think 99% of tournaments, any tournaments in the world, you win with 10 points. But not last week, where Magnus was almost perfect, 10.5. Some other big names, MVL we mentioned, but Bluebaum, slightly further down there. There's 2 Germans, Sarana and Bluebaum. He was one of the stars of the Grand Swiss, qualified. He's one of the candidates. He's here. He loves this event. Nice to see some big names starting to enter now. Vidit as well.
Oh, I love to see that. Vidit also logging on. So far, 166 players, you guys, across 49 countries. Players are logging on from all across the globe, you guys. We're hoping to see these names on the list today. Hikaru Nakamura, of course, still hasn't logged on. Alireza Farusha is known to be one of the top dogs in online blitz chess. Maybe we'll finally see the young Turkish players. Magnus Carlsen, he's in the house. And so is Simon Williams. You see him commuting there. It's been quite the travel for our friend Ginger DM with a lot of flight trouble because of some drones in Oslo. He had to spend the night in the airport in Stavanger. So Simon has everything to blame today, David, as we see him ready in the Dave Cave.
Exactly. Chess players, there's nothing we love more than a good excuse, just in case things go wrong. And Simon, poor guy, barely slept. He's guaranteed to play some kids today, probably going to be faster on the mouse than him. He might not be fighting for first place, but it's great that he's turned up. That's how keen players are, Kaya. They're willing to travel, they're willing to skip sleep just to play in Title Tuesday.
It's so nice to see Simon Williams in the Dave Cave. Nice shirt as well. You can check out his stream. He is one of the most entertaining guys to follow, you guys. You can check it out on his YouTube and Twitch channels. And of course, Magnus Carlsen is here in his liquid shirt. He's won the 2 past Title Tuesdays, and every single week we give him an extra little challenge. We give the viewers a chance to vote for an opening that he has agreed to play in 1 game. And this was posted on Instagram yesterday. The winner is Magnus rolls a die. He does this sometimes. He basically rolls a die to randomly choose an opening.
Yeah, he's done it in very important games, not just in Title Tuesdays, Magnus. He's discovered that there are 20-sided dies out there, and there are 20 possible first moves for white and for black. So yeah, sometimes he pushes himself to the limit, he rolls the die, and he has a system. Number 1, number 2 is the A pawn, number 3, number 4, they're the B pawn, etc. And yeah, nice to see the viewers letting him enjoy one of his favorite activities there.
So we've done this, of course, in all 3 Title Tuesdays so far this season. He's won, I think, all 3 of the games with some random, some dangerous openings. But when he's going for 11 out of 11 today, he must be kind of nervous doing that.
Yeah, I would be for sure. I can barely play one opening, let alone 20. And Magnus, of course, capable of anything. But I'm being told he's going to do that in round 1. So he's going to try and get it out the way early, maybe against a lower-rated opponent. But that means we're going to be following Magnus later when round 1 begins.
5 minutes to go. Alireza has joined. Still no. Hikaru Nakamura. Okay, where is he? Fabiano Caruana has joined. Wow, we're seeing so many of the top players today, you guys. Let's talk power rankings. David, 3 players you think we should watch out for today?
Yeah, we've mentioned some of them already. I'm going to start with Magnus Carlsen. He's setting the gold standard so far in Title Tuesday in this first split. He's won the last 2 weeks. I gave him a rating of 96 before the split began, and I'm sticking by it. He's just phenomenal. On form, is he going to get 11 out of 11 this week? That is the question. Alongside Magnus, I've gone for Hikaru. I gave him a 95 beforehand because I thought he'd be up there pushing Magnus, showing how consistent, how strong he can be. But Hikaru hasn't had a great start to this split. 3 weeks now without being even close to his best. So Hikaru needs to do better today to impress us, to fight back on the standings. And last but not least, I've gone for young Ediz Gürel, a 16-year-old grandmaster from Turkey who was greeted like a national hero when he returned to his school last week after defeating world champion Gukesh in the Grand Swiss.
This guy has some star potential. Cool to see him on this list. I have to ask you about Magnus Carlsen, though. On his player card, you made these before we started the Title Tuesday new season. It's based on their performance in online blitz, giving Magnus a 96. That's so high, but based on what you've seen from him the past 2 Tuesdays, could it actually be even higher?
Yeah, I will be reevaluating at the end of the season. So if Magnus gets 11 out of 11 every week, I might have to give him 100. But yeah, he's that good. He's got the highest number. He's the benchmark everyone sets themselves against. And I think Hikaru at 95, if anything, he's not played like a 95 player so far. So Magnus living up to expectations, Hikaru struggling.
Yeah, and he still hasn't joined. 3 minutes to go. Where is Hikaru Nakamura? He is, of course, known to be the star of Title Tuesday. He's been streaming it basically every single Tuesday for many, many years. Where is he today? He's really been struggling since the new Title Tuesday format was released with the new time format of 5+0. He has only scored 1 point on the Champions Chess Tour standings, and we're desperately looking for him. Less than 3 minutes. Where is Hikaru Nakamura? Do you think there's a chance he's going to skip it today, David?
Hikaru plays every Title Tuesday. The only reason I could think that he wouldn't play is that he's chasing those games, the candidate spot. Maybe he's off somewhere in the US playing an Open where he's trying to farm some rating points. But I mean, he played Freestyle Friday last week. He got the win there, so showing he's back to form. He won the bullet brawl on Chess.com on Saturday, and yeah, it's just going to be odd seeing Hikaru not play. He's probably streaming. Maybe we can get some word from the fans here. Tell us, what is Hikaru about to do? Is he going to join or not? Because he's only got 2 minutes left. If you miss the 2-minute mark, you lose the first round, and it's going to be hard to come back. So Hikaru, we want you. We're waiting.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, this is exciting. Now, less than 2 minutes. Will Hikaru Nakamura join Title Tuesday Game Week 4? We are waiting for him. But we see so many of the other top players joining today. Alireza is there below Magnus Carlsen. Bortnyk, which of course took 2nd place 2 Tuesdays ago, playing here from the Take offices. I also noticed Arjun Erigaisi is here fighting for the Indians. All right, it's going to be a cool Title Tuesday, no doubt about it. Less than 2 minutes to go. Let's kick off Game Week 4.
Wow, Sulaidis blunders his rook for a knight. Hikaru now is up. Look at the reaction from Sulaidis. So angry.
Wow.
That was a blunder. He pre-moved. Look at this, much better, massively better against Hikaru.
And there it is. Wow. All right, you guys, I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Hey to everyone. Thank you for sending in messages. And Akash Jain is saying Hikaru is setting up the stream. But he has to be... Oh, he's joined. Hikaru Nakamura is here. Woohoo, celebrations. That's very cool. That means we have all three of the top guns and so many of the other top players. Magnus Carlsen is here, Hikaru Nakamura is here, Alireza is here. Wow, what a title Tuesday we have ahead of us. So much drama, so much action is coming up. And just to remind you guys, every single title Tuesday is played across 11 rounds. That's why we keep saying Magnus Carlsen is fighting for that perfect 11 out of 11. They only have 5 minutes on the clock, no increment. That means we will see flagging, we will see time trouble, we will see huge reactions. And of course, it's all about scoring points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. Top 10 players score points towards that leaderboard. 394 players so far. And here you see it. Still a few seconds left to join, but we're getting ready to follow the action. All right, 71 countries. And we're getting close to 400 players as standings. And as the pairings is about to appear, we're wondering who will Magnus Carlsen play in the first round? Who will Hikaru Nakamura play in the first round? Okay, we have made it past 400 players today, you guys. And we do see the top guns here.
I think this might be the strongest Title Tuesday so far of the split, with so many of the world top 10 playing, Arjun joining in, Fabiano joining in. So nice to see. It's going to be a race to the top. It's going to be even harder than ever for Magnus to get 11 out of 11 this week.
Exactly. Magnus Carlsen, we're going to follow him in the first round. So it's called Title Tuesday because every titled player is invited to play, whether you are a grandmaster or a candidate master. We have players all the way from 2000 in FIDE rating up until those super grandmasters, 2700 and even 2800. And here we have the pairings for round one. Magnus plays with the white pieces against Uber, Hikaru against Muminaliev, Alireza against Olovic.
Okay, we're going to Magnus, game one. Someone called the Uber because Magnus is up against FM Uber today. Is he going to roll the die? That is the big question. Has he done it yet, Magnus? Show us the die. Talking of Team Liquid, he's got that famously big glass today in front of him.
Yeah, highlighting that Liquid logo. Magnus seems to be in a great mood today. We're waiting for round one to start. Remember, it's best out of 11 rounds, 5 minutes on the clock, no increment whatsoever. And as far as I can see, this is the first Tuesday that we're joined by Uber from Spain, a FIDE master, with a very nice profile picture there on Chess.com. He's up against Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces. Of course, we are wondering, will Magnus listen to the fans and roll a die for the first opening?
Oh, there we go. We called the Uber. Uber Eats there, and Magnus's opponent does appear. It does look like there's a small delay. We'll try and get to the bottom of that soon. We'll try to let you know why this round hasn't quite started yet. Magnus in very good spirits, it seems like, on the camera. Which opening will it be? He's been teasing us. Uber's teasing us as well by disappearing there. And, ooh, back. It looks like.
In different form.
Yeah, in different form. Sometimes you call an Uber, it cancels, you get a new one.
With a nice giraffe in the background there. From Spain, born in 2010, meaning Hugo Uber Garcia is a 15-year-old ready to face the world's best chess player. He's got the white pieces, and he's been in fantastic online blitz form. Magnus Carlsen, he wants 11 out of 11 today, but he's going to have to start with a win in the first game. Some delays happening. This is round one. We're waiting for the first moves. Yeah. Is it only this game? Yep. It seems to be all the games delayed.
Yeah, we'll get those games up and in front of all of you at home very, very shortly. But Magnus, in the meantime, has his hair grown? Something looks different about Magnus. Big time in his life, of course, right now. And he aims to focus on Title Tuesday right here and win. But yeah, he looks a bit distracted.
Yeah. We have no info on what's happening. It should have started by now. We are anxiously waiting for the first few moves. We're wondering if Magnus will roll a die for the first opening today, as he has promised to do, drinking from a very long glass. Let's talk about that 11 out of 11, David. It's a perfect score if you win all your games. It's only happened 7 times in history?
Yeah, I believe 7 times out of around 550 Title Tuesdays. So the odds aren't high. And yeah, very historic, of course. Magnus is one of the few who's ever achieved it. Hikaru, I believe, has achieved it as well, plus some other players. But yeah, it's one of those, it's like the holy grail of online chess, getting 11 out of 11 Title Tuesdays. And that's what Magnus strives for. He tries to push himself to new levels. He's achieved everything in chess, of course, but that's the only way to stay sharp, to stay at the top of your game, to try pushing your own boundaries.
Still waiting for round 1 to start. Magnus Carlsen is 2 times reigning champion. He won last week and he won the time before that. No one has been as good as Magnus with that 5+0 time format, no increment. Is that the thing Hikaru has struggled with, or is it simply form?
Yeah, I feel it's form with Hikaru. When we announced this big change, the time formats, and even at the Esports World Cup where there was also no increment, Hikaru said it favors him.
Yeah.
Because when he plays chess, and I watch a lot of his streams, I think he spends 80-90% of the time playing 3+0, no increment chess. He flags his opponents. He's super quick on the mouse. Yes, he's getting a bit older, Hikaru, but he's still one of the fastest fastest calculator, fastest players out there, simply. So I don't think the clock is the reason. I just feel he's been playing a bit passively. He's expecting the opponents to make a few more mistakes. He's kind of waiting for them to make an error rather than going for them himself. And sometimes in chess, like in other sports, if you're passive, if you're defensive, if the opponents are actually inspired, then things can go wrong. So yeah, it's very odd to see what's happened to Hikaru. He's been focusing a bit on classical chess as well, been playing some low-rated opponents. So maybe yet to find that consistency that he's well known for at this point.
Exactly. Going to be interesting to see if Hikaru can make it back to the podium, even get another win. He is the player who's won the most Title Tuesdays in history. 106 times is the number that he has won Title Tuesday. We should always expect Hikaru to be up there as we are waiting for round 1 to start. See some interesting names up here. Tricky Voldemort. Harry Potter inspired player.
Naughty Voldemort.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be up there in first place. Yeah, it's fascinating. Like players have all sorts of usernames. I've always thought, like, I wish I hadn't picked my username when I was, 12 years old, because I've had to stick with it throughout my career. Often you can tell a player by their username and they've become synonymous with it. But whatever we choose, like, we just don't change and we're stuck with it for life. So Tricky Voldemort could be a 60-year-old player, but yeah, he chose it all that time ago.
Speaking of 60-year-old, I checked the stats, and the oldest player we've had so far in Title Tuesday Autumn Split is a 76-year-old. Papu Murthy from the US has played all 3 Title Tuesdays so far at 76 years old. I mean, I love that.
I love it. We hear so much about these teenage prodigies, right? But there's the other side of the spectrum as well, of the age spectrum. And yeah, nice to see 76 years old. If you're watching this and if you're titled, don't hesitate. Title Tuesday's here for a reason.
Exactly.
And we have other standings as well. We have country standings. We just want as many players as possible. We've been around the 400 mark for a few weeks. It'll be nice to see all the titled players in the world unite and play. And in the meantime, okay, Tricky Voldemort, I think, is at the top of the standings. Just because everyone's on 0 points right now. But I'm hearing there might have been some results actually ticking in.
So there is definitely technical issues, moves not coming in, but games are happening. And I do hear rumors Magnus Carlsen has won in round 1. We have to apologize for this technical stuff that we have no control over. Rumor has it Magnus Carlsen has started with a win on his journey towards 11 out of 11. We will update you as soon as we have any more information about what's happening. Well, I guess this is the stuff that might happen when it's online.
Exactly. It's bound to happen. I just hope people, Stick with us throughout because it's not all about round one. It's all about the final rounds.
Exactly.
It's a bit of a marathon, 11 rounds in Title Tuesday. We're normally going for around the 2-hour mark. So still plenty of action ahead. Magnus versus Hikaru never happens in round one, but it could happen later.
Exactly. How exhausting is it to play something like Title Tuesday, 11 rounds of non-stop chess, basically for 2.5 hours?
Yeah, you never really feel it until maybe around the 8-9 round mark. And then suddenly you feel a bit of a crash, especially if you're hungry or if you're a bit tired, you didn't sleep well the night before. Poor Simon, not sleeping.
Exactly, yeah.
And then suddenly it hits you, and performing kind of consistently at that point becomes hard. I think the first few rounds you just get in the flow. You might not be super fresh, but yeah, you feel it at some point. That is guaranteed. Nobody can play their best chess for 2.5 hours non-stop, unless you're Magnus Carlsen.
Who's basically done that past 2 Tuesdays. Been very close to perfect for Magnus Carlsen. All right, we are waiting to give you guys some update on what's happening. We do have Simon Williams in the house as well, streaming Title Tuesday on his channels. And of course, you can also watch Magnus Carlsen's stream. I'm going to go in there now to check if he's actually streaming, if games are happening.
Yeah, it does look like games have been happening, but we will try and get those up very shortly. Still, some games ongoing in that first round. As yeah, it looks like all of the favorites have won. No surprising results yet. All of the top grandmasters, the ones we talked about, getting the win in their first games. So no big shocks. Normally the surprises start ticking in around round 2, round 3. We see some kind of FMs, IMs start taking on the top seeds, and that's when it starts to get really interesting.
Yeah. All right. Let's hope we get this technical stuff fixed as soon as possible.
Yeah, I've had to scroll down all the way to board 28 to find the first kind of big seed who hasn't won, and that was a draw. But it was between 2 GMs, so not so surprising. But our good friend of Take, Alexander Bortnyk, on board 30, lost his game. So that's the first real underdog who took a scalp in round 1.
That is something we also like about Title Tuesdays. You do see the occasional underdog victory more often than in maybe over-the-board chess.
Yeah, there's more variables, the time limit, the nerves, online chess, mouse slips. I was playing chess online last night just to try and get in the zone, try to warm up for this. I mouse slipped my queen on like move 5.
No.
Luckily, my opponent mouse slipped back a few moves later. So these things happen. But yeah, that's life. That's blitz chess. That's why we like the online arena.
Exactly. And I guess online chess is the perfect place to sort of say that never give up, because your opponent will blunder too. Things will happen. The clocks do tick down. It's just never a good idea to resign.
Exactly. Like there's always hope. And the best chess players like Magnus, Hikaru, of course, they're best in classical chess, but they adapt. They find these new kind of strategies. They know they need to take big risks in order to beat lower rated opponents. So yeah, we see them kind of keep time in the bank for later. Hikaru, he's well known for flagging people when he needs to. He wants to win on the board, of course, but they have so many weapons in their arsenal, in their repertoire, and they're not scared to use them. So I wouldn't be shocked later if we see some big time scrambles later today. We saw some last week. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
More today, I'm sure.
That's been the highlight so far, I have to say. All those time troubles, huge reactions, of course, when that happens. All right, still waiting for the technical stuff to work, you guys. I expect round 2 will be starting very soon.
Yeah.
Magnus Carlsen did start with a win. Hikaru did start with a win. So in terms of chess results, it's mostly what we would expect.
We promise we'll get in before round 11 when Magnus plays Hikaru for the title.
Hopefully.
And yeah, it looks like all the top seeds did win. Round 2, I'm guessing it's going to be some GMs against GMs already. It's just that strong, the field this week especially. It won't be the top guys against each other yet, but yeah, it's guaranteed. I think on Chess.com we'll see the players, the elite, who are rated around 32, 3,300. They'll start playing against 27, 2,800 level players who are phenomenally good in their own right. Some of the best in their countries.
Can you see how Simon did in the first round?
Ooh, good question. Let's
see if we can find Simon.
Okay, Simon Williams. Oh
No.
no. Oh no.
No.
He lost in round 1 with white against a lower rated opponent. And okay, he lost on the board and the clock. So
Okay.
let's not too focus on that game. Simon will be back. He's a very
Simon will
streaky
be
player.
back. And remember, he had hardly any sleep last night because of his flight problems. He is, of course, playing for England, same as you, David. There hasn't been that many players from England so far this season on Title Tuesday. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's quite low for such a big country.
Yeah, for all the English fans out there watching right now, go message your favorite British player. Go tell them to play in Title Tuesday. We want to build this into a bigger tournament. And yeah, it's just a great training ground as well. Like, I've been playing for years in Title Tuesday. I test out new openings. These games go on the database, everyone. So secret hack, play new openings, surprise your future opponents. It's a good way to throw them off the scent. But yeah, hopefully we can get more players, especially from the UK, where there's so much young potential as well. Players, FMs, CMs, they can play in this and test themselves against the best.
Yeah, and I have to say, a lot of the players that I do see have played from England are teenagers. So the future must be bright for England.
Yeah, the future's bright. I have a feeling we're going to be the next India with all this
Right.
kind of golden generation coming, but
Yeah.
I don't want to put too much pressure on them. Not yet, at least.
All right, still waiting for an update on what's happening. I am getting some results in here right now, and I do see round 2 is happening, where we see, see if I can find. Magnus here is playing Fiorito, and I'll see if I can find Hikaru here as well, using the take app.
Yeah, Hikaru Nakamura is playing against big fan favorite Eric Rosen. In the meantime, we have action.
Oh, wow,
we
nice.
have games. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Here we go, David. Okay, so we're coming into the middle of this game. Magnus Carlsen has the black pieces against international master Fiorito. What are we seeing on the board?
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a crazy middle game here. Magnus slightly worse against his IM opponent from Argentina. This opening, it's unclear where exactly it came from. It looks like it might have been a Queen's Gambit. But either way, right now, Magnus in a bit of trouble. He's attacking the enemy Queen, and there are questions for his opponent, Fiorito. Do you move the Queen? Do you allow a bishop trade on the long diagonal here? Or do you get a bit more ambitious? Do you take this knight off the board and try to sacrifice, try to gain a bit of time in the process? Nope, it's a bishop trade. Looking like level chances to me, but the engine here, the eval bar slightly on the white side. That's because this bishop has potential, attacking some weak pawns, and white knight in the center looks glorious. Magnus, though, is up on time, so that probably gives him better practical chances here.
Joaquin Fiorito from Argentina. He's 18-year-old and IM with a FIDE rating of 24. His nickname on Chess.com is I am Momia Jr. And he's rated 2876 in online blitz chess, so he is very good in this format. He's played 2 Title Tuesdays so far this season, and he scored 6.5 points both times. He's a solid online blitz player.
Mm-hmm. He's looking good. He's looking very solid, but this game is getting very complicated now. Magnus has crashed through with a check on the long diagonal in the last move. Magnus looks like he's about to win the whole of the white queen side. Look at that. He wins a pawn. He takes it with the queen. I'm slightly surprised. I thought he would take with the pawn, getting his pieces very active there. I think we need to ignore the eval bar. Magnus is now 2 pawns up. He's most likely going to push this pawn as far as he can down the board. That is going to cripple half of white's army. And when the time comes, it's all about the other pawns pushing. Too many black pawns in this position. Too much time on the clock for Magnus Carlsen, as Fiorito in big trouble in round 2 here.
Meanwhile, Hikaru Nakamura in round 2 is playing Rosen, one of the other top streamers. So that's a huge battle. Hikaru with the white pieces. It's currently balanced in that game. In this one, international master Joaquin Fiorito is better against Magnus. Is Magnus in trouble?
I don't believe this bar right now is showing the real evaluation of this position, unless Fiorito can go ambitious here. He can bring his queen out. He needs to try and create some counterplay. There we go. He's trying to check the black king, but Magnus Carlsen with a sacrifice here, giving up his knight. He's defended this key square with his own queen, meaning there are no checks. And look at this beautiful fork with the pawn. Magnus is not even taking the rooks on offer. This is a beautiful sacrifice, a beautiful trick there by the world number one. Look at this. It's all about the forks for Magnus Carlsen. He was hitting the rook as well, but watch out, there's a trap. Checkmate is threatened, so Magnus gives up his queen. He's going to get 2 rooks and a knight in return. When the dust settles, Magnus is going to win thanks to the power of this pawn. It's going to become a new queen. Magnus is going to take the win. It's just a matter of time now.
The eval bar is not working right now. Magnus Carlsen with the black pieces is better, and Fiorito is also struggling on the clock. And there it is.
There it is. Magnus Carlsen wins. He was up too much material. Beautiful sacrifice there to force his pawns through, giving up his queen. But we go to another game now, another big fan favorite, and a pair of them, Hikaru Nakamura against Eric Rosen. And that's not Eric Rosen, that's our good friend, Gingy GM, Simon Williams. This is the game, however, of Hikaru and Eric, and it's looking very level to my eyes here, Kaya.
But clocks, they are ticking fast. Rosen with only 27 seconds left on his clock. What will happen in this one?
Oh, it was looking very level, but we might have just seen the first real blunder by Eric Rosen. There's suddenly a double attack. Hikaru Nakamura with the white pieces, hitting a pawn with his queen, hitting a rook with his queen, and you can't defend both. These pieces are hanging. Hikaru is about to take the win. We see Eric Rosen shaking his head there. The clock goes red. It's 5 seconds left on the clock for him. Hikaru taking his time. Does he simply capture a free rook? Does he go for a pawn and go for checkmate instead? He takes the rook and a queen check. It's a trap by Eric Rosen, hoping Hikaru doesn't see that his queen is hanging. But if he sees that the check drops his queen, Eric smiling here, trying a Rosen trap. Famous for them. Eric's about to lose on the clock and on the board. There we go. Hikaru takes the win.
2 smiles there. Hikaru Nakamura goes up to 2 out of 2 points. Solid fight there from Eric Rosen. But he's defeated by Hikaru Nakamura, who's looking good today, winning with the white pieces. Perfect start for Hikaru, and he's looking very chill, very happy right now. That was exactly what he needed today. 2 solid wins in the start of Title Tuesday. Best out of 11 rounds for Eric Rosen. He's now stuck on 1 point, but he is very, very good in online blitz chess. This is round 2, and we see most games wrapping up. Alireza Fruja, though, in trouble against Kahaya, and he loses already here in round 2.
Oh, I think he took the win.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, but
that was a quick turnaround.
It was the clock. Alireza getting very lucky, actually. He was struggling majorly earlier in that game. But Farouja is quick. He is tricky. He found the resources to save that one and turn it around.
That's what it's all about in Title Tuesday. Also playing on the clock, and Alireza Fruja wins on the clock, so he's also on 2 out of 2. So all the 3 favorites, I'm going to call them the 3 favorites, having a solid start. Round 3 is about to start, you guys. Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces against Rasulov. Hikaru will now have the black pieces against Galchenko, and Alireza Fruja white pieces against Danilenko. We also see MVL, that's of course Maxime Vagier-Lagrave, playing his first Title Tuesday of the season, getting ready for round 3. And here, we're going to follow Magnus with the white pieces. Here we go.
Here we go. It's a queen's pawn opening from Magnus, and we go to the queen's gambit. And Magnus really showing a sign of respect to his opponent, a very strong grandmaster from Azerbaijan, by playing his favorite opening, the Catalan. That means that the white bishop is going to fianchetto onto the longest diagonal. Magnus only uses this when he really fears his opponents and wants to kind of enlist his A-list kind of repertoire here. I should mention, Magnus did roll the dice in round 1. The outcome was knight to f3 on move 1, which is a very healthy move. It's the Reti opening. It's a very useful one. It's one of my favorites. So Magnus was favored by the gods of the dice in round 1. This time with white, it's looking very symmetrical, very level in these early stages. But Magnus, he has so much experience in these positions.
Vuga Raslov is a grandmaster from Azerbaijan. He is 34 years old with a rating of about 2,500 in classical chess. But in online blitz chess, his rating is almost 3,000. He is possibly very good in this format. Can he upset Magnus Carlsen? He's actually won Title Tuesday 3 times in history. He scored second places, he scored third places. He is someone you can count on when it comes to Title Tuesdays.
Yeah, Vugar Rasulov, he's been very strong for a long time. He's the same generation as Magnus, we should mention, both of them 34 years old. There we see him on the camera, looking very focused. He grew up playing the same youth tournaments as Magnus, myself, and some others. And yeah, he's been playing Title Tuesday since it began. Magnus only started playing during the pandemic, really, in this event, week in, week out. But Rasulov, I remember competing against him in 2015, 16, around that time. In these Title Tuesday events. So very quick player. In the meantime, this game, it's left the opening phase. We're in the middle game now. It's looking very level, apart from the fact that Magnus has a battery on the long diagonal. The bishop and queen lined up here could create some real danger for the black pieces, especially if the knight, the defender near the black king, is ever kicked away. And Magnus suddenly much better according to the bar. I trust it this time because Magnus is getting some squares, kicking the opponent's pieces back. The knight is coming into a juicy outpost. And the rooks, the queens, they're occupying some open lines. Magnus taking positional control. Not winning yet, but he has full dominance over this board right now.
Remember, there is no increment in Title Tuesday. 5 minutes on the clock, no increment. They are about equal on the clock, but Rasulov is now ticking down to under 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and he's kind of looking a little bit stressed on the camera, I have to say.
Yeah, I think I would be stressed too playing Magnus Carlsen, and especially in a position like this. It's not one of those crazy chaotic ones where it could suddenly turn around or that Magnus will suddenly lose control. It's one of those positions where Magnus, look at that, beautiful pawn move. He's going to retreat his queen now, but there are threats all over the place. The bishop is trying to sidestep here, create a skewer, and win that black rook. Maybe that will happen anyway. Magnus improving pieces. It's the type of position you slowly get strangled. You run out of space, you run out of time, you have no active plans of your own. He's trying something now, but big mistake there from Rasulov apparently, pushing his pawn forward. He's trying to push this pawn to destabilize the white king position, but Magnus could have taken advantage by taking a pawn in the center, and there was a pin along this rank. The black knight would have been loose. Magnus missing that opportunity, but still doing very well here. That's his next plan. He's just solidifying his king position first. This is long-term going to be a nightmare for Rasulov to defend.
And Rasulov keeps pushing Harry, the h-pawn, up the board. Magnus now also pushing. It's all about pushing pawns now.
Yeah, exactly. The pieces, they're almost perfect for Magnus Carlsen. So that's why he was pushing pawns. Rasulov has nothing else to do other than push pawns. It's a position where he has 2 knights, but those 2 knights are very clumsy. And Magnus, is that a blunder? What is Magnus Carlsen doing? He's brought his queen forward. He's attacking the enemy queen. More importantly, he's attacking the enemy rook. But apparently this is a big, big mistake by Magnus. The black rook can slide back, force a trade of queens. That looks like a very healthy option. There we go, played, but it wasn't the best one by Rasulov as the bar drops back. That was a bit of a hidden tactic to me, to my eyes. Maybe it was a queen trade. Maybe it was something else by Vugar Rasulov, but look at this. He's exhaling now because he's in trouble. He's lost a pawn. Instead of winning material with black, he's down a pawn and about to get ground down in this ending. Magnus back on charge.
Do you think Magnus is even aware he blundered?
No. I'm still struggling to come up with the reasoning for Magnus's blunder there. The eval bar saying that it was a big miss, and Rasulov shaking his head. Maybe he understands what went wrong, because now he looks doomed. He wants to take back this pawn with black, but after a trade of pieces, there would be a nasty knight fork in the air. Magnus Carlsen simply simplifying this equation, trading off pieces. We'll see Magnus most likely move his king next to defend this weak pawn. There we go. 2-pawn advantage. Magnus Carlsen's going to win.
Massively better on the bar and so much time on the clock they both have right now. Magnus does seem a little bit confused about something.
Yeah, I'm confused about Magnus's confusion. And maybe annoyed that he might have missed this rook trade and a fork, hitting 2 pawns. But one of the pawns runs forward now, and the white rook shuffling. This is surely going to end the game. Ooh, Magnus has spotted a really cool tactic, I believe. If the black rook slides to stop the white pawn, then the white knight is good to actually jump in the way. The black knight stops it. There we go. Magnus, he's about to bring his rook to the top of the board. And he's going to make a new queen. He's going to be a full piece up. There we go. It's a check. A new queen will enter the board just for one move. Magnus is going to win. Look at the resignation on Rasilov's face already.
Yeah. He does not seem to be enjoying himself, even if he is playing with the best player in the world. But Magnus Carlsen is fierce. He's about to go up to 3 out of 3 in Title Tuesday, Game Week 4.
And there we go. A new queen appeared just for one moment. Rasilov gets that queen off the board, but at the cost of a very important piece. He's a knight down now, and White's knight is so powerful, entrenched on an outpost. Black has 4 pawns remaining, but they're so weak, guaranteed to fall off. They're all isolated or doubled. Rasilov is not long left in this game before he clicks that resign button. He might even get checkmated in the near future. The Black King stuck in the corner. Magnus taking 1 pawn. Black only has 1 hope left. He's banking everything, all his chances on this pawn running forward. But Magnus is going to be too fast. The white rook will stop that one. And it's going to be game over. There we go. Magnus Carlsen gets his 3rd win in a row.
Solid stuff from Magnus Carlsen with 1 minute and 19 seconds left on his clock. He takes the win against Grandmaster Vagur Rasilov. It's a win with the white pieces and 3 out of 3 points for Magnus Carlsen. This is round 3 in Title Tuesday Game Week 4. And we do see a bunch of players have scored 3 out of 3. Daniel Naroditsky, one of those players. Meanwhile, Hikaru Nakamura is still playing. He's got the black pieces against Galchenko. And he seems to be better on the bar, David.
Yeah, it's looking good for Hikaru. It's nothing major. Just a small advantage here. It's actually level material, level pieces, level pawns. Everything looks level, especially with rooks coming off the board. But it's all about black's control over the open file, over the D file. And white has one big weakness, this backward pawn. Look at the clock as well. Hikaru with a few extra seconds. Those could be very handy later. It's a lot of small things, but they could long-term add up to a bigger advantage for Hikaru. As he trades a set of pawns, now the black rook is coming to stare down at that big white weakness. And this is the type of position where Hikaru really thrives. He's got full control, no risk, and more time on the clock.
Matvey Galchenko is a 25-year-old international master from Russia. He is almost rated at 3,000 in online blitz on Chess.com. Extremely good with little time on the clock. And that's important for him now because he only has 30 seconds left in this game against Hikaru Nakamura.
Yeah, the clock is going to be all important in this one, especially when the clock turns red, when they hit the 10-second mark. Hikaru's not doing anything special. He's not doing anything committal. He's just moving his rook back and forth. He's waiting there. We see him push a pawn, asking a question. How does white react? The bar says, okay, it's somewhere between better for black and just level. To my eyes, it should be a draw with best play, but Hikaru, there we go. He breaks the pawn structure. Now he's changing the pace of the game. Down to 18 seconds for Galchenko. I have a feeling the black rook is coming in. There we go. The black knight as well is going to start improving itself. And this game is turning in Hikaru's favor. 15 seconds for white versus 25 seconds for Hikaru.
Hikaru Nakamura, is he back to the level we know him to be? He's massively better here. Oh, the bar keeps jumping. What an exciting game. This is round 3. Only 15 seconds left on the clock.
And there we go. Hikaru lands a fork. He took the white knight. If the rook had been taken, there would have been a knight fork. Hikaru's won a piece. And he's got a few seconds left on the clock over his opponent, but the red appearing everywhere now. 7 seconds versus 8 seconds. It's a race. Hikaru is totally winning on the board. The only thing that can stop him is the clock. The pawns are pushing. The knight is going to help that pawn push through. He's running out of material. Galchenko here. Hikaru Nakamura at 3 seconds. Who's going to be faster? 1 second for the opponent. 1 second each. 2 seconds each. Who's going to win on time? Can Hikaru deliver checkmate? He gives checkmate with under 1 second left on his clock.
Oh my wow. That's time trouble. That's Title Tuesday. That's the Premier League of chess, you guys. Hikaru Nakamura. He wins on the board, but more importantly, he wins with less than a second left on his clock against Galchenko. That's an important win, and he goes up to 3 out of 3. How impressive was that finish by Hikaru?
Wow, so quick. Like, the pre-moves were so fast that I just couldn't keep up with the commentary. It was incredible. Hikaru, that was back to his best. Not only was he actually on the front foot trying to attack his opponent and winning on the board, but the speed.
Yeah.
He showed that's why he's known to be a king of online chess.
And that's where you see the pre-moves, I suspect.
Exactly. Like, especially when he got his opponent's last rook. Once the white rook was off the board, he knew he could do everything I think he added up the pre-moves, 5, 6 pre-moves in a row, and that's why he was able to deliver checkmate with under 1 second. Very impressive.
All right, you guys, we're heading into round 4, and look at that. We have pairings. It's Mendonca against Magnus Carlsen. Hikaru is up against Shigalko, Alireza Furusha against Terry, the international master that we know to be very good in Title Tuesdays. This is round 4, best out of 11. And we're going to follow Hikaru Nakamura with the white pieces here, coming straight from that very impressive win with hardly any time on his clock. Let's take a look at what he plays in the opening here, David.
Yeah, and this game started as an English opening. That means Hikaru pushing his pawn forward to the c4 square on move 1. And it almost looks like a reverse Sicilian. The English opening and the Sicilian defense are basically cousins. They have so much in common. And here we see Zigalko trade a set of pawns, lure out the white queen. With this odd-looking knight move, he's going to now try to attack the queen with his bishop. This would now be defended. Hikaru, he is playing a line that has a very good reputation for white, supposed to give white a small but stable long-term advantage. Bishop on the long diagonal as well. But Hikaru with the head bob, he's got to be happy with how these first few moves have gone.
It says 2 points for Hikaru Nakamura. He should be on 3 out of 3. He has won all 3 games so far today. And this is round 4. He is hoping to go up to 4 out of 4 in his game here against a Grandmaster Shigalko. He is from Belarus, 36-year-old Sergei Shigalko, rated almost 2600 in FIDE classical chess.
Yeah, Zigalko, he's another one who grew up with the likes of Magnus Carlsen and that kind of golden generation. He's known to be an online specialist. He spends all of his time playing Blitz online. He barely plays over the board these days anymore. And yeah, he's always been Belarus's kind of top player over the last few years. He's very, very dynamic. And he's well known to specialize in all sorts of variants. Blitz chess, bullet chess, chess 960, King of the Hill.
Wow.
You name it, he plays it. And look at this, a pawn sacrifice from Sergei Zigalko here. He's given up a pawn in the center in order to create a pin on the white queen and king. Now he's kicked the white king away with a check. This is very ambitious stuff by Zigalko and looks very strong as well. Slightly better according to the bar for black here, despite being a pawn down, because the white king will never ever be able to castle again. Here, Zigalko needs to get his other pieces into the action, the rest of his army, whether it's the black light square bishop, whether it's the black queen. We see him locked in, super focused. He's a streamer as well. We see him talking Zigalko, but he must be happy with how the outcome of this opening has gone. We're in the middle game. He has great attacking chances.
Shigalko is rated above 3,000 on Chess.com in Blitz. He's played all 3 Title Tuesdays so far this season. His best score was in Gameweek 2, where he ended up in 9th place, actually, with 8.5 out of 11 points. This is definitely someone who can cause an upset to Hikaru Nakamura, especially when Hikaru Nakamura is not in top form. But the question is, are we seeing Hikaru Nakamura back to his best today? He scored 3 points so far, 3 out of 3, and he got a very impressive win, both on the clock and on the board in round 3. He's looking calm, he's looking comfortable, he's looking chill today, Hikaru. This could be Hikaru Nakamura going for the win.
Yeah, Hikaru's acting very chill as well on the board, which is a good sign for him. First, he's attacking the black bishop, and if that bishop retreats, he'll deal with his central pawn next. If the bishop takes the knight, he'll take back with his pawn and protect his central pawn. The reason I know Hikaru's chilled, relaxed, confident is because he's calmly walking his king towards the corner. This is what we call castling by hand. You forget to castle, but you realize, okay, you got checked. Game goes on, and you tuck your king to safety. It takes a few extra moves, but Hikaru here, he's allowing his central pawn to be taken, because once the dust settles and everything else gets captured, his bishop is on a beautiful diagonal and will take a free pawn. But look at this, Zigalko puts his own knight now on prise. That knight could be captured, but there is some tension in the center. If that knight is taken, the black queen will take the white queen, win back the piece with interest. This game suddenly got very spicy. Hikaru Nakamura has to deal with some big, big threats. This is 2 strong grandmasters at the top of their games.
Shigalko has had some really good results in historical title Tuesdays, scoring second places, third places, but of course, nothing compared to Hikaru Nakamura. No one has won more title Tuesdays than Hikaru Nakamura, but he has struggled after the new format came, and he hasn't been on the podium today. Could be the day for Hikaru Nakamura as he moves his bishop out.
Yeah, that is a good move for Hikaru. He's solidifying everything. You see Zigalko now on the camera is starting to get a bit stressed. He knows he's playing too slow. Look at him. He's head on hands there. Well, hands on head, I should say. Either way, there's some hands, there's some heads, and he needs to keep his head in order to keep the balance in this position. Suddenly, he's got his pawn back, but Hikaru, there we go, with his queen, taking a pawn, offering a queen trade. If we go into the endgame and Hikaru is still up a pawn, there's almost zero hope for Zigalko. Hikaru is one of the best endgame players in history, simply, especially under the quick time formats. Zigalko, he's lost the thread. I think he's just unable here to find the compensation that he wanted when he sacrificed that pawn so long ago now.
His clock is ticking down to 1 minute and 30 seconds, debating whether to keep the queens or take them off.
Yeah, he's allowed the queens to come off, but that's a clever move by Zigalko. He's taken a pawn. He's saying, please, please take my bishop, because if the white bishop takes the black bishop, the queen is no longer defended. There's this weird tension. It looks like a maths equation here. It's the weird tension between the queens and bishops and the queens and bishops, and they all connect. I'm going to draw the arrows here. Everything's connected on the light squares. Whatever you take, I'll take back. It's a weird little pattern that I've never actually seen before, anything like this. But Hikaru says, I'm going to ignore all of those pieces entirely, defend my queen with my rook. Hikaru is going to have an endgame advantage, and I'm just worried about the clock here and the camera. Zigalko, I think the reason he stopped playing so much over the board chess is because he didn't enjoy the tension, the nerves. And here we see the nerves getting to him. Yeah, it's looking tough now for him. Look at the clock. He's got half the time of his opponent.
And he's going to be even more stressed when he sees the clocks ticking. Under 1 minute left, there is no increment, and this is when the pulse start getting really, really high. It's better for Hikaru on the eval bar.
Yeah, one big problem, the main problem. Look at the Black Knight. It's got no support, no backup, nothing to hold it, and all white needs to do is hit the knight. That is a trapped piece. No safe squares for it. Zigalko desperately trying to find an escape route for that piece before it's too late, before it just drops off the board. That's why Zigalko is so stressed. But you can't play this slowly against Hikaru Nakamura. 30 seconds now. He's just dropping too low on time. Even if he finds a way to get that knight out of white's position, he is going to lose this game. And much better suddenly for Hikaru Nakamura. The white knight can jump out the way, attacking the black rook. There we go. Maybe not the best move, but a good enough move there from Hikaru. He repeats the position once. This knight is the target. Once the white knight drops itself out of the way, you can move anywhere, any safe square. And Hikaru is winning this game.
Look at Hikaru Nakamura. He's in full control on the clock. Okay, the bar goes down. What's happening, David?
Oh, Hikaru's not playing the best moves. He's playing for time now. Hikaru could have trapped that black knight, but he's let it out. The black knight's super strong. Watch out. Hikaru's actually dropped a pawn as well. Will we see any stress appear on Hikaru's face? He's playing for time, but he's not playing the best moves. Zigalko's down to 18 seconds, no increment. It's going to be a race against the clock, but this is the best position Zigalko's had all game.
There is something wrong in the graphics. Hikaru is on 3 points. He is now fighting to go up to 4 out of 4. He's having a great day. Can he win it? It's now saying better on the bar for Zigalko.
Such a good position for Zigalko. Look at this. Hikaru's dropped his rook in the corner. He's going to win back some material now. He's forking the black rooks. He's going to take that knight, but the clock goes red. That's the main factor. Zigalko smiling because he knows Hikaru is going to get this game now. Simply no way to finish it in the next 6 seconds. Hikaru is the one with the pawn. Hikaru is the one with the chances. He pins his opponent's bishop. Zigalko head in hands again. He's cursing himself as his clock runs out. Hikaru Nakamura takes the win.
Oh, fantastic reaction from Zigalko as he loses to Hikaru Nakamura. That was dramatic on the board. Oh, heartbreak for our friend Zigalko. He loses on the clock. That was flagging from Hikaru for a lot. He was flagging for a minute there.
Yeah, Hikaru, just you could see when it just something clicked into gear.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, I'm just going to win on time. He didn't even care about the moves at some point, Hikaru. He played some great defensive moves to stay in it, but it was turning. And in the meantime, let's go to Alireza Firouzja as We watch whether he can win a flag fest against Renato Terry, a very strong grandmaster in his own right. Or an IM, sorry, in his own right. Oh, that last few moves, Firouzja winning a piece. It's all about the clock, though. With the queen still on the board, anything could happen here. Firouzja trying to deliver checkmate. The clock goes red. 10 seconds against 10 seconds. We're going to see a check in the corner. We're going to see queens leave the board. Firouzja pre-moving everything now. Renato Terry running out of time. 4 seconds. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. He's given up. Renato Terry lets his time run out, I believe. And Alireza Firouzja is going to take this win.
Two of the quickest players in the top of chess up against each other, both red on the clock. It does look like Alireza Firouzja has taken the win on the board and on the clock. Let's see if that result pops up. All right, not quite yet, but we do expect that's going to be a 4th win for Alireza Firouzja. And we do see Magnus Carlsen has won his round 4 game against Mendonca. That means Magnus is on a perfect score. Hikaru is on a perfect score, and we do expect Alireza Firouzja to be on a perfect score. David, this is heating up to be a fantastic title Tuesday with the top guys fighting all the way in.
Yeah, there's nothing better than such a stacked field, but especially when all of the favorites bring their A game, play their best. That's when the real ingredients for a real memorable week happens. And Caruana, Firouzja now, Ariane Tari, Sarana, Bluebaum, all of them winning their games. They're all in top form. And the clashes, the Grandmaster clashes, they're going to continue.
Exactly. Fantastic. This is Title Tuesday, Game Week 4 in the autumn split. Magnus Carlsen is fighting to win it a 3rd time in a row. Here we have it. All the results from round 4 is popping up, and we do see a bunch of players on 4 out of 4. But noticeably, Magnus is there, Alireza Firouzja is there, Arjun Erigaisi is there, Hikaru Nakamura is there, Fabiano Caruana is there. I mean, this could almost be like looking at the world rankings list, David. The top guys are all up there.
Yeah, I believe those are the top 5. Oh, actually, other than Firouzja, the top 5 in our standings. There's 4 of the top 5 in the classical standings as well, classical ratings. So all of the top players, they're here this week. Firouzja, I just think of him as a top player because he's been world number 2. He's been 2,800. But yeah, this is incredible. MVL as well, Sarana, Vincent Keimer, Denis Lazovic, Dubov, he's on 4 out of 4 as well. Watch out for him. Undefeated in the Grand Swiss recently.
Yeah.
This is shaping up to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a race. I'm hoping one of them can get 11 this week, even if it's not Magnus. It feels like someone's going for 11 out of 11 this week.
And if you get it this week, then wow, that would be impressive because the field today is just incredible, you guys. There's a little bit of a technical break now before round 5 starts in the Premier League of Chess.
Here we go.
Lovable is the presenting partner for Title Tuesday, and we're now going to take a look at the action replay presented by Lovable. We've had so much action so far today, both on the clock, on the board, some technical issues as well, and we're going to take a look at this game, David, against Galchenko and Hikaru.
Yeah, Galchenko had played a perfect game almost up to this point, holding Hikaru to equality, but here we see the eval bar just above the board start to turn black. Much better for Hikaru Nakamura. That's because the black knight, the black rook, they were both so active. Galchenko struggling to keep things together. This one, though, started to get settled by the clock. We saw Hikaru so focused, locked in, not even talking despite streaming. He was just making those pre-moves. This is the key one. Rook takes knight. If the king had taken the rook, there would have been a nasty knight check, winning the game for black. And the clock turning red for Galchenko first was decisive. The rook taking some pawns, the white rook now giving some checks, and ultimately falling off the board in the next few moves. Hikaru just so speedy, so accurate. There we go, the moves so fast. The rook dropping there, a new queen appearing just for one moment, and Hikaru pre-moved everything here. He took the white pawn, he brought his knight forward, used his rook, he promoted a new pawn to a queen, another queen appears, and checkmate with 0.6 seconds left on his clock. Hikaru Nakamura, one of the stars of today.
One more move and he would have lost that game on time.
Exactly.
Wow.
0.6 seconds, that is cutting it fine. That is borderline. But Hikaru, he knew he was able to do it, and he'd yeah, he's so experienced in those situations.
Yeah, and that's why we love Title Tuesday. That was today's action replay presented by Lovable. We are loving today's action-packed Title Tuesday. Round 5 is starting in only a few seconds. We're waiting for the pairings. We have a bunch of players on a perfect score. So far, 4 out of 4. All the top guys are there. Magnus, Hikaru, Alireza, Arjun, Fabiano. Who's going to take it today? And will we see 11 out of 11? The fight is fierce in game week for you guys, and join us in the action. Talk to us in the YouTube and Twitch chat. We would love to hear from you guys. We would love to hear who you are rooting for. Is there mostly Magnus Carlsen fans out there? Alireza Ruja fans, Hikaru fans? Let us know before we head into round 5. Do you think the players at this point, David, are they aware of the standings? Do they know their biggest rivals are up there? And do they feel more hungry than ever to win this?
100% guaranteed. The one thing I will say about chess players is we're obsessed with results. We're obsessed with stats. We're obsessed with our rivals. There's no doubt that the likes of Magnus have been looking down the standings, scrolling. Oh, there's Hikaru. Damn, he's up there with me. Hikaru's probably doing the same. He's like, oh, Magnus, Faruja, they're keeping pace. I think they use it as inspiration as well to push themselves even further. That's why Magnus tries to go for 11 out of 11, because he knows that Faruja, Hikaru, they're capable of doing the same. So, yeah, they're definitely aware, and they know the clashes are coming.
Yeah,
we're still just warming up, still early days in the tournament.
Of course, we also see Sarana there up on 4 points. He won game week 1. Also someone to keep an eye out for, as we see. Oh, look at that, David. We have pairings for round 5, and it's going to be Magnus Carlsen against Arjun Erigaisi. Magnus here with the white pieces. All right, I'm excited to see what opening will turn up on this board.
Yeah, this one, we have to follow it. Of course, some big clashes elsewhere as well. We'll keep everyone abreast of those results later when they come in. But Magnus Carlsen, Arjun Erigaisi, they've had some titanic clashes throughout the years. Magnus was the one who kind of defeated Arjun on so many occasions, Esports World Cup, other events. And Magnus, wow, what has happened here? Was that on move 1 or move 2? He's put his knight on the edge of the board in a Sicilian defense. I don't know if that's Magnus rolling the die, but I don't recommend this one for anyone at home. He's now trying to transpose into a closed Sicilian. So this is actually a known motif that he has employed on occasion. I remember a very important game he won against Polish Grandmaster Wojciech with a knight on the edge of the board. But trust me, whoever's watching this at home, do not try this. This knight is so misplaced in a Sicilian. The knight wants to be towards the center. This is Magnus trying to confuse his younger opponent.
And even, put him a little bit off to face this against Magnus Carlsen. Does it even feel a little bit disrespectful?
If it was anyone else, I would say disrespect. But no, Magnus, he actually played this on move 1, not move 2.
Whoa.
I can confirm. So Magnus, I don't know whether he's rolling the die every game. Is he just so addicted to it? Putting his knight on the edge of the board like this. I mean, it's just a bad square. It will have to come back towards the center sooner or later. But it definitely feels like he's having a bit of fun, Magnus Carlsen. It's about the results, of course, but he wants the kind of experience. He wants the fun. He wants to tease his opponents, tempt them. He wants to provoke them. And I thought that knight was going towards the center. The other knight goes in the way instead. Arjun Erigaisi must be feeling a bit annoyed, must be feeling a bit disturbed by that decision.
Yeah, it's very nice though to see Arjun Erigaisi back in Title Tuesday. That's the first time he's playing this season in the autumn split. The score between these two historically in Title Tuesday is 11 points for Magnus Carlsen, only 3.5 for Arjun. Magnus is a big favorite. He also has the white pieces here. They are equal on the clock, 5 minutes, no increment. And right now it is Arjun thinking before he moves his pawn.
Wow, Arjun grabbing a pawn. That is super risky. And look at that eval bar. Much better for Magnus Carlsen now. Yes, black is up a pawn, but look how poised that white queen is. She's so close to delivering some nasty checks. This is one of the first patterns we learn in chess as a beginner. bring your queen out to h5, try to deliver checkmate. And of course, it's not that easy this time. Of course, it's not that easy against someone as classy as Arjun Erigaisi. But you could imagine a world where the white bishop comes in, attacks this pawn, and teaming up with the white queen, this could be deadly. The black king, not destined to castle in this game, unless miracles happen. The king castling would just walk into the line of fire. Magnus calmly bringing his rook up now to defend a pawn. And Arjun taking big risks, both of them taking big risks, as it feels like this game is almost guaranteed to be decisive. I just can't see a draw happening here at all. Magnus going for the kill, going for checkmate. Arjun trying to defend in a very active way.
Both on 4 out of 4 points so far today. Arjun Erigaisi has scored 10 out of 11 points 2 times in Title Tuesday history. Both of them have happened in 2025. He's getting better and better, not only in chess as a general, but in online blitz chess as well.
Yeah, these top players, they keep finding ways to improve, push themselves, reach new heights. And yeah, Magnus, Arjun, both of them at the top of their game. And such kind of streaky players as well. When they're firing on all cylinders, when they're in form, when they're full of confidence, they're just hard to stop. Look at this white king. Magnus started by putting his knight on that square, on the h3 square. Now he's walked his king up to h3. This is surprisingly safe, still guarded by pawns. The white knight nearby as a bit of a guardian too. Black has no attacking pieces. That's why you can get away with this type of thing. But Magnus, you need to know the rules in order to know when to break them. And he's really exploring his creative side here. The black bishop in the meantime blocking any white pawns. That's a very classy move from Arjun Erigaisi. Suddenly the bar turns slightly better for black after this last one. Magnus may be realizing that walking with his king forward isn't getting any attack going. Maybe he'll try to push this pawn forward, kick the black knight backwards, but no obvious moves for Magnus. That's why he's burning time on the clock. Both players now under the 3-minute mark. Arjun Erigaisi defending extremely well.
This is not the only big battle in round 5. Fabiano Caruana is right now in a winning position against Maxim Vachier-Lagrave, and Hikaru Nakamura is playing with the black pieces against Andrei Yesipenko. But this one, Magnus Carlsen against Arjun Erigaisi, 2 of the best players in the world. The bar is in the middle. Will we see a result in this game, though?
Oh, this one's going to end decisively, almost guaranteed. Look at the black queen. What's she doing there? Looks like she wants to give checkmate, but she needs a bit of backup. She needs another piece to attack. She's infiltrated, maybe creating a pin on this first row. Magnus says, I don't care. Take my bishop, please, because then the white queen will just slide across, and it will be the black knight that finds itself pinned on this first rank. This is a crazy position. I've never seen anything like it. The knight does take a bishop. Magnus actually doesn't swing his queen across. He does the same thing, though, from a diagonal. He's going to take this knight back next. The knight is doomed because it has been pinned. Magnus now finding creative ways to stay equal, but can he find an advantage? That's the big question. Arjun just looks so calm all the time. He never changes expression. Winning, losing, you never know with Arjun Erigaisi.
Yeah, he is a poker face right now. Remember, 11 rounds in each Title Tuesday, 5 minutes on the clock, no increment, and Arjun is down to 1 minute 35 seconds. He's 1 minute down on the clock. How nervous do you think he is on the inside, David?
I think both players must be trembling on the inside, but they're both so well trained in maintaining that facade, keeping nerves hidden from the opponents, that they know they cannot show weakness. Neither side's backing down. Magnus initiated the fire by playing this weird, crazy opening, going on a king walk, pushing his king forward. Arjun's been fighting fire with fire. He wants to now push Harry the h-pawn forward, and just to make that white king feel a bit uncomfortable. Magnus could have taken that pawn. I'm very surprised he resisted that temptation before it was defended, now by the black rook. But this game could go any direction. 2 minutes for Magnus Carlsen, 1 minute 23 for Arjun. Oof. Normally I would favor the queen and knight. Queen and knight are so tricky, dream attacking combo. But here anything can happen. Magnus leaning forward. Can he keep up the speed? If Magnus can keep his extra 30 seconds, he's the favorite. But it's such a weird position. It's going to be tough to make any predictions here.
Queen still on the board in this game, as Magnus has also ticked under 2 minutes, but Arjun Erigaisi, ooh, he's about to tick under 1 minute on the clock against, well, the best player in the world and someone who's been exceptional in Title Tuesday so far this season. He's in trouble on the clock, but what's happening on the board?
Yeah, it's getting even more complicated. Magnus is lining up some nasty checks, maybe from this angle, from the side. The black king, we mentioned, never going to castle in this game. The rooks have moved. That king is destined to stay on some very precarious squares. Magnus, meanwhile, centralized knight, active queen, active rooks. We could see the rooks line up together. Where is the breakthrough? That is the big question. Magnus spending a bit too long on the clock, maybe, trying to find that way through. Now a trade of queens offered, blocked. Arjun Erigaisi, look at his queen as well, dancing in behind. That's the square the white queen starts the game on, but the black queen breaking through. Now the rook attacking the white queen. This is getting really scary for Magnus Carlsen. He's got to be really careful to defend this. Arjun's turning it in his favor. Better now, according to the bar. We see a rook trade. The black rook is going to now step up, guard itself, attack the white knight, which is offside. This game is turning in Arjun's favor. Not on the clock, though, as Magnus lifts his queen up one square. Oof. All bets are off. Arjun jumping in with his rook. He's gambling on a rook trade, helping him. But now it is the beautiful queen and knight combo. Magnus, he's now calculating whether he can take this pawn, kick the bishop back, and then push. Nope, he steps back. He's keeping his king safe. Magnus, I have a feeling, is going to try and win this game on the clock. He's just protecting everything. Everything defended by Magnus Carlsen on light squares. Can he win on time with a 10, 11-second advantage here?
Magnus has also ticked under the minute, but Arjun about to have only 30 seconds left on the clock. He's looking calm as a cucumber, though, but Magnus, he's leaning forwards. He is looking a little stressed right now.
Yeah, both sides definitely stressed. Now Magnus can decide to trade or not to trade. Does he take that bishop? He says no. Knights are so tricky at this stage of the game, especially when it becomes about flagging. When the clock's ticking down, Magnus better. Apparently, he's trying to get those queens off the board. There we go. Arjun banking on the fact that a queen trade might save him, but now the white king stepping forward. This pawn is going to be weak eternally, tying down the black bishop. It should be a draw with best play. There's just not enough pieces left, but Magnus has 10 extra seconds. He's got the knight as well. That's such an advantage when blitz chess gets to this stage of the game. Look at this. He's just moving his king back and forth. Is there a way through for Magnus Carlsen? He panics. He freezes. He drops his knight back. He's going for the pawns. Arjun Erigaisi's defending. He's holding everything, defending so well, Arjun. Magnus is taking a risk, though. He's let the black king forward. It's a race. Whose king is going to take the enemy pawn first? And Arjun Erigaisi walks into a fork, blunders his bishop. Magnus takes the last pawn. Magnus Carlsen's about to make a new queen, and Arjun resigns.
Wow, look at that. Magnus Carlsen wins on the board eventually in a dramatic game against Arjun Erigaisi. Magnus goes up to 5 out of 5. Arjun is stuck on 4 points after a big battle against Magnus. We have seen no emotion on Arjun's face in this game, but look at this, David. He's disappointed.
Definitely. Arjun rarely betrays any emotion, but he was so close there. One accurate move at the end, it would have been a draw, at least for Arjun. But Magnus put so much pressure on the clock that, ultimately Arjun cracked. That's the difference at this level. Such small margins. In the end, it was only 2-3 seconds here and there. If Arjun had played slightly quicker earlier in the game, I think it could have been a very different result. But Magnus keeps going, finds a way, as he always does.
This was round 5. Magnus Carlsen takes the win. He goes up to 5 out of 5. We can see Alireza Firouzja has also that perfect score of 5 points. So does Hikaru Nakamura. Sina Movahed, he's here again. Wow, Sina Movahed from Iran. He is on a perfect score, and so is Fabiano Caruana. All right, today is such an action-packed Title Tuesday. This is round 6, and we're gonna see again Sina Movahed against Magnus Carlsen, and this has given us some epic battles so far this season, David.
It really has. This has been a clash of the titans, a name that might not be so familiar to those of you at home, but Movahed, he's moving ahead. And he's showing us that he's a force to be reckoned with, still a teenager. He's played the Spanish opening, the Roy Lopez, very classical stuff. Magnus has so much respect for his young opponent that he's playing, again, his best repertoire. Magnus only plays this when he knows his opponent is strong. It's the mainline Spanish, an anti-martial. That means there's no gambit here, no attacks. It's very positional, very quiet. Magnus loves to put his rook on this file in order to try and open up that line later. Magnus also loves to break open in the center when given an opportunity. But for now, this is slightly better for white. This type of opening has a great reputation, and Sina Movahed must be happy with how the first few moves have gone.
He's only 15 years old, from Iran. Sina Movahed, rated 2580 in FIDE Classical Chess, as we see his screen. And we do like this view because he disconnected in a game against Magnus Carlsen, where he was about to win. We can see he is playing the game, he is logged on, and we like to see that. In Blitz Chess, Sina Movahed is one of the best players in the world on Chess.com. 3,163 is his current rating, and he's better against Magnus Carlsen. Ooh, who looks annoyed.
Yeah, Magnus not looking happy. I think that's because of the type of position he's got. It's not the type of fun position that Magnus got against Movahed last week. In their encounter in last week's Title Tuesday, Magnus said it was the most fun game he'd ever played in Title Tuesday. Magnus won that one with some sparkling tactics. Both sides played really well. They both tried to go for checkmate. Magnus ultimately came on top, but this is a much drier type of position. This is actually still well-known theory, I believe. Slightly better for white. This is the type of position Levon Aronian made popular with the black pieces. Magnus is trying to win a pawn. And move ahead. I call him move ahead. Movahed. Movahed. He's been such hot form recently that he won 2 Freestyle Fridays in a row.
Wow.
Only stopped in the final round of the most recent one by Hikaru Nakamura. It would have been 3 in a row for Movahed. But he's so quick, and he's very, very tactical. So I'm not sure whether he likes this positional type of fight. The one downside for black is weak pawns in the center, 2 doubled pawns here in the middle that can become targets a bit later. That's why Magnus is making those faces. He's like, it's not that bad, seen better. But the game goes on. Still early days here. Movahed needs to move quicker, though. That's the one thing. This is still opening theory. It's still relatively well known, and he's spent 2 minutes plus at this position.
Oh, and then he moves his pawn, Sina Movahed, with only 3 minutes left on his clock. He has won Title Tuesday in the past. He's got second places. He is really good in this format. We haven't heard that much about him in over the board chess, though, David. Is this a youngster, a teenager who specializes in online faster chess, or is it someone you expect us to also hear from in the more classical chess formats?
Yeah, I mean, great question there. There's always a debate. There's some specialists like Denis Lazovic, rarely plays over the board. And I believe still 2,500 something, which is a good grandmaster, but not kind of elite level, but can compete at the top in online speed chess. Movahed, he wasn't a grandmaster until a couple of years ago. He's been storming through the rankings. I believe that if he gets a bit more opportunity and plays these big tournaments, he's going to gain another 100 points very, very quickly. But definitely a name to remember. For now, it looks like online chess is his priority, as we see him win back a pawn there and now attacking this black knight. It's a great position for him. He's catching up on the clock. And we'll definitely have to remember his name if he takes down Magnus Carlsen here. Yep. A bit of bad luck the last 2 weeks against Magnus. Will it be third time lucky?
That's the question for Sina Movahed as he plays Magnus Carlsen again. But he only has 2.5 minutes left on his clock with the white pieces. The eval bar is roughly in the middle. Magnus Carlsen and Sina Movahed both on a perfect score. This is round 6. Out of 11, Sina Movahed moves his queen back.
There we go, retreating, but lining up on the same diagonal as the black king. That is the key detail here. Magnus trades off and plants his knight in the way, so this diagonal will not be unblocked. That's a very classy move by Magnus Carlsen. He will probably drop his other knight back in the near future, just try to clear the line of the black rook. I try to improve the black bishop, but yeah, still early days. This is the maneuvering phase in this middle game now. Movahed, he's one of the talented Iranian generation. Magzudlu, of course, these days is the Iranian #1, very strong player, nearly got to the candidates. Firouzja was one of the initial Iranian prodigies who now plays for France. Movahed has a lot of idols, a lot of very strong speed specialists he has learned from. Magnus, though, is turning this in his favor. Look at this, slightly better for black now. The bar moving in that direction. The black queen can start coming to grab some pawns in the near future. This queen occupies an open line. The rook occupies another open line. No entry squares yet, but Magnus will enter when given an opportunity. As the white knight jumping. This is Magnus's type of position. Slightly better for white now, apparently, but Magnus is so used to them. He's played this type of position in World Championship matches. If I were Movahed, I would have gone for something a bit more crazy, aggressive, tactical. I believe that's the only way. We got confirmation, by the way, that Magnus did not roll a dice in this game. That's how badly he wants it. He didn't want to leave anything to chance with black.
Wow. Magnus Carlsen. 2 minutes left on his clock. Meanwhile, in round 6, we have a big All-American battle between Hikaru Nakamura and Fabiano Caruana, number 2 and 3 in the world. Hikaru is much better on the bar with the white pieces right now. Fabiano Caruana, he's not the expert in online blitz, but he is on 5 out of 5. Now up against Hikaru Nakamura in this round.
Yeah, nice to see here. Fabiano playing. He's had some mixed words about Title Tuesday, mixed love affair, rarely winning it. I don't know if he's ever won it, Fabiano, but he's always up there and thereabouts. He's super consistent. But this position, in the meantime, talking of consistency, it's consistently been getting better for white, just the last few moves. Magnus Carlsen has to watch out. There's a big threat, potentially, of knight takes pawn with a check, and the white queen swooping in on the diagonal, following up, riding into the holes that Magnus has left. He does not look happy, Magnus Carlsen, with how the last few moves have gone. The knight drops back, still some checks in the air. Magnus has to be on guard. Look at the clock as well. Suddenly, the world number 1 behind on time, not happy with how he's playing. This one is turning. This one, anything can happen, but Mavahed has to keep the queens on. Do not get tempted to trade off, go into an endgame. Magnus Carlsen will outplay anyone in the world there. He needs to keep the queens on. Bring that queen forward. Go for the attack. Team up with your knight. That is the best bet. Mavahed, what's he going to do? A queen trade, and that will backfire badly.
That's what we're looking at right now, you guys. We're looking at the queens. With less than a minute on his clock, Mavahed in the move, and he moves the queen, David.
Good decision. There were other squares he could have chosen. Maybe that square was a better one to leave vacant for the white knight to use and to jump in with a check, but it's all important that he keeps the queens on. You do not beat Magnus Carlsen in an endgame. It's that simple. You beat him by checkmate, by tricking him, by confusing him. As we see the white knight jump in. He's sacrificed 2 pawns, though, here, Mavahed, so he needs a big follow-up. He's looking at these sacrifices. Bishop takes pawn. Is that possible? There we go. He sacrifices a piece. Down to 32 seconds, though. Magnus takes the piece. And the big question is, can you take this knight? It might lead to a perpetual check. The bar is dead in the middle there. It means the position is level. If Magnus takes this knight, the white queen will check the black king forever. That could well just be a draw. But if Magnus doesn't go for that, he takes a risk. The white knight would have dropped him with a check. Here we see Mavahed. Okay, he's using his rook this time. He's moving ahead with that rook as he threatens checkmate. He didn't want to just give checks. The black king is running. Magnus wants to run for the hills and hide behind his pawns, but this is getting more complicated by the second. Mavahed needs to move. 22 seconds. This is it, Kaya. This next few moves will decide everything.
Will he finally be able to beat Magnus Carlsen? He is better on the bar. Sina Mavahed, he's only 15 years old. He's got 15 seconds on the clock. He's massively better, David.
Magnus Carlsen has blundered his rook in the corner. Maybe this was a calculated gamble. He needs to win on time now. That rook was defended by its queen. Magnus blocked the defense there, losing his rook. Look at this, Mavahed's winning this pawn now. Magnus is about to get checkmated. He needs to somehow stay alive and win on time. Mavahed is totally outplayed Magnus Carlsen there. Confused him, the rook is coming back. A rook and 3 pawns against knight and 2. It's a huge material advantage, but the clock has gone red. 9 seconds for white. Is that enough? The clock ticking, the checks continue. He can keep checking. Will he force the draw, Mavahed? He goes for the win. He doesn't repeat the position. Magnus turning red now with his clock. The king dropping back. It's all about a scramble till the end. The pawns are pushing. Magnus's queen drops back. Pawns, wow, it's just random pre-moves now. 4 seconds against 4 seconds. Who is going to be the faster of the two? The pawns are pushing. Who's going to check last? Magnus down to 2 seconds. Queen trade. Queen trades. Queen's off the board. Rook taking the pawn. Magnus Carlsen loses on time. Mavahed wins.
Wow! Finally for Sina Mavahed. He beats Magnus Carlsen. He takes him. On the clock, he flags Magnus Carlsen, the best player in the world, loses to 15-year-old Sina Mavahed from Iran. Huge result for the youngster. He goes up to 6 out of 6. Perfect score. Magnus Carlsen, he's not going to play 11 out of 11 today. He is stuck on 5 points. What an incredible game. What a battle between these two. And Sina Movahed finally gets his win against Magnus.
Yeah, he's deserved it. Not just this week, the way he's played against Magnus the last 3 weeks. I'm still catching my breath, Kaya. That was crazy. I didn't know who was going to win on time, but Movahed, he was so clever. He had some pre-moves. He gave up his rook with a check, slowed down Magnus by half a second, and that half second counted in the end. That was so close. Movahed is a name to remember.
Exactly. Remember his name, Sina Movahed, but we have no time to rest. Sina Movahed has no time to rest, jumping straight into round 7. He has the white pieces. He is up against Hikaru Nakamura, who just won his game against Fabiano Caruana. These two are both on a perfect 6 out of 6. Sina Movahed with the white. What's happening here, David?
Wow, I was going to say, is this about to happen? It's the Berlin draw, a well-known repetition where all the pieces get traded quickly. There's a dance between the two queens. That is, well, hard to blame Movahed, who's just had a crazy game. No break. Fearing Hikaru potentially, but Hikaru, he's played this draw countless of times. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm always disappointed. I wanted to see that encounter. I wanted to see that fight.
100%.
Yeah, they share the lead, and they can only be overtaken by one player, Alireza Firouzja.
Strategy from Hikaru with the black pieces there. He takes a quick draw and he goes up to 6.5. Now same with Sina Movahed. This is the beginning of round 7, you guys. And Alireza Firouzja is on 6 out of 7 points. He's got the white pieces here against Denis Lazovic, known as one of the best players in online blitz chess. This is a big battle between two young players. And what are we seeing on the board?
Yeah, it started life as an English opening, something that Firouzja has been employing more and more. He used to be an e4 player, really loyal to that move, played it every single time. But just in the last year or two, Alireza Firouzja has been more willing to experiment. This is a very successful English opening for white. It's marked by 2 things. The white pawn on this square on c4 and this pawn chain, teaming up with the bishop on light squares. It's all about a light squared strategy for white. Now he jumps forward with his knight. Watch out, knight fork in the air. This move would win the black queen or the black rook in the corner. And this has been a great opening for Alireza. He's still a young player in his own right, but facing someone even younger here, he's tried to make it as strategic, positional as possible against Denis Lazovic.
Denis Lazovic, 19-year-old from Belarus. He is number 150 in the world in classical over-the-board chess, but Denlas, his nickname on Chess.com, is a feared man. His online blitz rating is 3,205, number 9 in the world. And here he is, Denis Lazovic, one of the best players when the clock is ticking fast, just like Alireza Firouzja. Do you think this is a battle that will go down to seconds, David?
If it does, we're in for a real treat.
Yeah.
These two, they have some of the fastest kind of mouse skills out there, that is for sure. I think Firouzja may be slightly the faster of the two, but Denis Lazovic, I've seen him win some crazy time scrambles, almost a minute. So Alireza has a small time advantage now, and the white knight can still jump in, still threaten that rook in the corner, still threaten the pawn. Looking very good for Alireza right now. He's done everything right. Denis Lazovic looks like he's in a hotel room. Not sure where in the world he is. I know where he plays. I know his home camera so much from having commentated on his games. I think he's in a hotel. Maybe that's put him off his stride. Maybe lost a bit of routine there.
Yeah, and is he about to play some other tournament? Who knows? Denis Lazovic, he's won Title Tuesday 12 times in history. One of the best players in this format. Alireza Firouzja on 6 points with the white pieces better on the bar.
Yeah, in the meantime, this last move, slightly chaotic from Denis Lazovic, maybe slightly panicky. He's trying to open up with this pawn push his bishop. This bishop is a bit of a sniper in the corner. It's got the rook in its sights. If the black knight is ever able to jump out the way with tempo, that rook would be hit. So Alireza shuffles it out the way. A bit of a trade there first. Long-term, white is doing extremely well here. This is an isolated pawn that's likely to drop off. No friends around it. It's no longer COVID. You don't have to isolate. This pawn is definitely doomed. But can he create some attack in the meantime, Denis Lazovic? He wants to go for the white king somehow, but hard to do so. It's opposite color bishops, but the moment the black piece is not coordinating at all.
Alireza Firouzja, of course, played in the final in the Esports World Cup this summer against Magnus Carlsen, playing for Team Falcons. He lost the final, but he played some impressive chess, and he scored 5 points so far on the Champions Chess Tour standings. He's in 7th place right now inside the Esports World Cup, but it's a long way to go. We're going to play the autumn split, the winter split, and the spring split before it's decided the 12 players that join Magnus Carlsen to the Esports World Cup 2026.
Yeah, and he's definitely prioritizing Title Tuesday, the esports circuit here, Alireza. He's been in the news today a lot for his decision not to play in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That means Alireza will not be in the candidates tournament, barring a miracle. So he's very much focusing on speed chess, on time formats he enjoys. Very interesting decision there that a lot of people have been critical of. But he knows himself, he knows his kind of preferences. Right now, I was going to say the bishop attacking a knight, the bishop takes a pawn. Both players taking pawns near the enemy kings. And suddenly, it's another case of not trading queens. Watch out. Anyone who's been doing Puzzle Rush online, anyone who's looked at any checkmating patterns ever, will recognize a queen and a knight lined up on a diagonal with a king stared down like this means only one thing. Smothered mate ideas are in the air. The black knight only needs to jump out the way in any direction, and the black queen will deliver an X-ray check against the white king. This could be terminal. Is Alireza planning to move his king up 1 square? Is he just going to try and continue trading queens? Big moment. Alireza Firouzja could be in trouble here if he doesn't find the right moves.
Less than 2 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes, no increment. That's the format in Title Tuesday. And we can see Alireza bopping his head, getting a little tense here. Meanwhile, Lazovic, he seems quite calm. 1.5 minutes left for the Grandmaster from Belarus. Big battle between 2 young players.
Yeah, and suddenly Alireza has been the one freezing. He's been in the think tank for a while now, trying to solve this dilemma of the queen, the knight, and the king. All about one diagonal, all about the dart squares. That's the only important thing in this position. He needs to find a solution. He tries to trade queens now. One of the options I did mention, but it cost him way too much time on the clock, and there we go. Queens disappear, a pawn disappears. Is this going to guide the game towards a dead drawn ending? Will we see everything get traded off now? It's opposite color bishops. Watch out. There's a big threat of the black bishop coming to the board with a check, hitting the white rook as well. If I can draw my arrows correctly, that would win the white rook. There we go. But that can be prevented by the white king moving, the white rook moving. And Alireza, he's got to speed up, though. He is the only one who can maintain the 100% score. If we're going to see 11 out of 11 this week, it's got to be him. But 42 seconds, still with enough pieces on the board to cause confusion as well. I think Denis Lazovic is going to try and shift gears now and try to flag his French opponent.
Wow. Yeah. This is the moment, you guys. Alireza Firouzja is under 1 minute, and Denis Lazovic about to tick under 1 minute. Will this be a scramble with red clocks, or will it be a draw? It's up to Lazovic, I guess.
Very much up to Lazovic. If he wants to draw now, Denis Lazovic, he'll probably just take this pawn off the board, and then he'll bring his knight back and say, it's a fortress. There we go. He plays the safer line. He could have kept that pawn alive, taken a bit more risk. Now we're going to see a dead drawn endgame, but will we see the players try to flag each other? Firouzja now, if he trades rooks, then that would have been a draw on the spot. He's trying to win this game, Alireza Firouzja, despite having 13 seconds less than his opponent. Wow. Alireza is trying to win this game. He's attacking a pawn now. It's the most drawn endgame I could ever imagine. It's so dead level. And Alireza has less time, but he refused to repeat the position. He's trying to win. This is crazy. Alireza Firouzja, I mean, it's opposite color bishops. Rooks off the board, draw. Pawns off the board, draw. Bishops off the board, draw. Everything is a draw. It's all about the clock. I think we need to strap in our seatbelts because this one might be a bit of a race to the finish.
Alireza Firouzja wants to score 11 out of 11 for the first time ever. He's never ever done that. And playing like this, he is fighting for his 7th place to go 7 out of 7. But okay, clocks are ticking. Now it's Lazovic Oh, he's going down to 10 seconds on the clock.
Oh, this is Alireza's mouse skills at play. Look at how quickly the moves are coming in for white. He's pre-moving. Every time we see a move, just shoot so fast on the board. He's pre-moving. Look at this. He trades a set of pawns. He's created a pin. He's winning a pawn, Alireza Firouzja. And now, if he keeps the rooks on the board, he should have winning chances. Denis Lazovic down to 5 seconds. The clock goes red. He needs to keep the rooks on the board, Alireza. Otherwise, it's a dead draw. He's going to check black. No way Lazovic can pre-move. He's got to be wary of checks. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's going to be clock again deciding this game. He blunders his bishop, Denis Lazovic. That's going to be the end for him. The clock is going to be the clincher, though. Alireza Firouzja wins on time, 7 out of 7.
Wow, look at Alireza Firouzja. He is so calm. Massively better. He wins on the board and on the clock against Denis Lazovic. Look at that. Alireza Firouzja playing for France. Big decision today to not play World Cup. He's showing us that this is what he wants to shine in. He is one of the best players in online blitz chess. Title Tuesday, he's going for the Esports World Cup. Impressive stuff by Alireza Firouzja. Do you think, because of the news today, David, that he is just super eager to show everyone that he can score those 11 out of 11 in Title Tuesday?
Yeah, I mean, he was a man on a mission there. That was, I've got to say, ruthless. That was heartless. Like, he did not care about the fact it was a dead drawn position. He was down a few seconds as well, Alireza Firouzja, but he knew his skills. He's so good at flagging, so good on this thing, so good on the mouse. And yeah, poor Denis Lazovic, there was not much he could have done. But that's how much Firouzja wants it. And how much Firouzja wants it will be apparent in this game.
Oh, here we go. No time to rest. Round 8 is starting. And we have a big battle. Hikaru Nakamura with the white pieces. He's on 6.5 points. He's up against Alireza Firouzja on that perfect 7 out of 7. Black pieces for Alireza Firouzja. All right, what are we seeing on the board, David?
Ooh, we see the dreaded Berlin defense. This is the exact opening that Hikaru had when he was black in the last game, and it was a quick draw. Hikaru spending 30 seconds now. Oh no, it's going to be the same draw again. Hikaru doesn't even want to play a game against Firouzja. Why is Hikaru doing that? He's half a point behind his opponent. Game over before we even got into the heart of it.
Disappointing. Oh, that means Alireza Firouzja as well will not score 11 out of 11 today. He will be in the lead now, though. 7.5 points. Hikaru on 7 points. Hikaru with the white pieces there takes this to a draw. So we're jumping into this one. It is Drigalov with the white pieces against Sina Movahed, both on 6.5 points. Both of these still fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 4.
Yeah, win for one of these two would propel them into a joint lead. This is all important. This is the second board. And Drigalov against Sina Movahed, one of the stars of today. Movahed, other than that draw against Hikaru Nakamura, the famous Berlin draw, the dreaded Berlin draw, he's been perfect. Nice to see Drigalov's microphone. That's one of the coolest microphones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Looks super chilled. His position looking very nice as well, full of potential. If you look at the white knight, beautiful. Look at the white pawns, very nice as well. This is the King's Indian defense, something that Sina Movahed used last week against Magnus Carlsen. Didn't work that time, hasn't been working again. White has a huge advantage. All he needs to do is push this pawn forward. There we go, step 1. Next, he's going to bring his bishop forward. Maybe after a trade of knights in the near future, he defends his own knight. This bishop is going to be a real beast. And Black's pawn structure looks cool, but probably isn't what he wants. Movahed in big trouble.
Massively better. Sergei Drigalov from Russia, 26 years old. He is also one of the players rated above 3,000 on Chess.com Blitz Chess. He's played 2 Title Tuesdays so far this season. His best result was 8 out of 11, which earned him 23rd place last Tuesday. He's won Title Tuesday once in his career. Maybe it's going to be the second time today. If he wins this game, he's going to go up to 7.5 points. It's looking good for him.
It's looking very good for him. I've played Drigalov many times, including in Title Tuesdays, and he's a very dangerous player. Often it looks like he's not doing much, and then suddenly he'll change up everything and out of the blue hit you with an unexpected move. Here, he's been doing everything smoothly, 1 minute up. Look how strong these 3 white pawns are. Any of them could advance at any moment, and each of those would pose different problems to Black. First, a rook trade. I think Drigalov shouldn't be too afraid of that. He's guaranteed almost at some point to bring his bishop out to stare down the Black king. Maybe the white knight will move out the way at some point to support a pawn push. So many options for white. That's why he's settling in for a long think now. The computer thinks massively better, almost winning, because this black bishop is so bad, cannot get out. The rook in the corner, bad, cannot get out. The black piece is still asleep. That's why white has a big advantage.
Sina Movahed, of course, in round 6, got that huge win against Magnus Carlsen. And Magnus, he went on to play a draw in his round 7 game. So Magnus is falling behind in the fight to win Title Tuesday Game Week 4. It is about these two players, but also Alireza Fruja, Hikaru Nakamura, and some other players. Magnus Carlsen, he is, of course, on 5.5 points. It's not over. But it's going to be tough for him to win 3 in a row.
It's going to be tough. He needs to win 3 in a row and hope. Magnus might, if he wins the next 2, get a chance in the last round to face one of his rivals and kind of take them, overtake them, score that all-important win, peg them back. But it's going to be tough. It looks like it might be a question of whether Alireza Firouzja can keep going, keep up his incredible pace. I think Firouzja is going to be loving the fact he gets a long break now as well. Yeah. That quick draw against Hikaru, black against Hikaru, to get out of that one alive in 30 seconds and to get, what is it, a 10-minute, 15-minute break. It's going to be nice for Firouzja, who's a big favorite now. But in the meantime, a pawn has been captured. And normally what you would do in these types of positions is push this pawn forward. Push it forward 1 square, just try to promote. Taking this pawn, not necessarily the only way forward. Maybe it's strong too, you open up a rook. But this pawn, the C pawn, will be defended by its knight, will be defended by its rook. And look at this, Drigilov goes a different direction. That's a very interesting move. He's trying to threaten a capture of rooks and then to drop his knight in with a nasty fork. This is laced with tactics. That is a poisonous move from him there. The knight, the queen, the rooks on the open lines, those are the attacking pieces he's relying on. And it's looking very, very scary for Movahed here.
A lot of temptations then in the positions for Movahed, and he has to stay away.
Stay away? I don't even know what to touch. He trades off the rooks, but look at this. If you take this pawn now, the white knight jumps out the way with a check, and when the white knight jumps, the queen will drop. So you cannot touch those pawns. That's a very controlled move from Movahed there. He tries to block everything, defend everything with his bishop, but this rook in the corner is hit. Not only that, but rook takes bishop as a threat due to a pin in the center. Movahed in huge trouble. Drigilov could join the lead, could join Alireza Firouzja on 7.5 points.
Look at this, and he's looking so calm. Sergei Drigilov with 2 minutes, 23 seconds on his clock, and Movahed is ticking down. Will this be over on the board before we even see those red numbers, David? Yeah,
this one is almost immediately over. He's calculating now, Drigilov, whether he can take this bishop untouchable due to a pin in the center. The black queen would drop if that rook is recaptured. I think it's safe. You might have to do some last-minute checks there. There are some counterplay ideas that Movahed is trying to initiate, but the white king is just going to sit in the corner. It's not even going to recapture any pawns. It looks like that move is winning. There's also a rook in the corner you could feast on. Movahed in big trouble. He's bluffing. The bluff is called by Drigilov. He's a full bishop up now. This might be the final few moves of this game. Movahed in huge trouble. The fairy tale is about to end.
He's been on a high, Sina Movahed, since he beat Magnus Carlsen in round 6. That was a massive result for him. Struggling here, though, in round 8. He is about to lose against Drigilov, who will go up to 7.5 points and join Alireza Firouzja in first place after 8 rounds. And after this round, 3 rounds to go before we name the winner of Game Week 4 in the autumn split.
Yeah, a capture of a pawn. It's tripled pawns for black. Look at how they're all lined up, all queuing up to try and deliver a check, but the white king super safe in the corner. This last pawn push not creating any threats. The white rook can simply move. It can run away from any potential attack. You can even take this rook in the corner. You can even just take a pawn with your queen. Every move is winning for Drigilov here. All danger is gone. He's a full bishop up. No tricks at all here. Movahed is about to lose this game. I wouldn't be shocked if he resigns in a few moves. The white king too safe in the corner. One final trap. He's trying to give a nasty check in the corner, but that won't cut it. Drigilov is about to give checkmate. The black king is the one that's going to die first. This is going to be game over. Movahed about to resign. Drigilov, what a powerful performance. Never in doubt. Here he can win in any way he wants. He can trade queens. There we go. No checkmate to end this game, but when the queens are gone, this rook in the corner drops off. That's going to be the final move. Movahed is about to resign. There we go. Any second now. Breathing out. Oh, he plays on?
Yeah. I keep looking at his camera to see if he actually hits the resign button. There it is. It's over. It's a win for Drigolov. He celebrates. Look at that. Super happy about that performance. He takes the win. He goes to 7.5 points. It's a loss with the black pieces for Sina Movahed, who is stuck on 6.5 points. This was a big battle for the players fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 4. We now have 2 players on 7.5 points, Alireza and Drigolov. And then on 7 points, Hikaru Nakamura. This is still round 8. Sarana, who won Game Week 1 up against Muradi.
Yeah, very interesting position, this one. It looks like it's come from another King's Indian defense. So one of the openings of the day, a very fighting opening that normally leads to chaotic positions. Opposite side castling with the White King super safe, the Black King not safe at all. This is going to decide the game. There's going to be a skewer, a pin on the back rank. And okay, first he takes a timeout to even gobble up a pawn Sarana. 20 seconds against 10 seconds. Clock turning red, but not enough for Muradli. Sarana takes the win. He, controlled that last game so nicely.
Sarana, he takes it, and he goes up to 7 points to join Hikaru. Fabi, Minle is also there, and Naroditsky. Okay, some big names on 7 points. This is far from over, you guys. We still have 3 rounds to go, and the players are fighting for the win. Magnus Carlsen is stuck now on 6.5 points. What chances do you give Magnus now to winning Title Tuesday Game Week 4? Slim
chances. The fact that he's not even the top of his score group, so the fact that Magnus is the third of the players on 6.5 means his tiebreak isn't as good as some of the others. And we settle kind of level scores on tiebreaks. It's about how your past opponents have done. Magnus dropping a bit more there. He'll need to win his last 3, but 9.5 might not be enough to win it this week. It might be another week where 10 is the magic number. And I think Firouzja is a big favorite now. He's going to play against Drigolov in this next round. May the best man win. But the likes of Hikaru, Fabiano, they're poised, ready to pounce.
Exactly. We have so many of the top players fighting here in Title Tuesday Game Week for you guys. There's a little technical break now. We're going to keep talking, though. We're going to go through some of the action that's been happening. But the big question is, of course, who's going to win Game Week 4?
Here we go.
How's your voice, David? It's been dramatic today. Ooh.
It's getting croaky, I must admit. 3 rounds left. My voice will survive. But no, it's been fun. Lots of time scrambles today, Kaya.
So much drama on those clocks, David. We've seen them be red. They've gone to 0. There's been flagging. Let's take a look at an action replay. One of our favorite moments, of course, so far today. Round 6, Sina Movahed. Then there is a story, of course. He was massively better against Magnus a few weeks ago. He lost because he was disconnected. Next week, he lost to Magnus on the board. And here, they meet for a 3rd time. And what's happening?
Yeah, last week it was the most fun game Magnus has ever played in Title Tuesday, in his own words. This one was a fun game as well. We joined just after Magnus, though, has blundered. Earlier, he could have had a draw. He could have allowed the position to repeat itself, but he wanted to win Magnus. He has more time. Look at this. 7 seconds for White, 14 seconds for Magnus, but the Black King was just too open. When you're low on time, the last thing you want is an open king, because then you can't pre-move. You know you'll get checked, and you can't predict which check will come from which angle, so it makes you much, much slower. And despite the fact Magnus had a few seconds more than his opponent, it was Magnus Carlsen getting checked, losing seconds on the clock, Movahed pre-moving. Very importantly, very nicely in a moment, getting the queens off the board. This was all important. Getting the queens off the board removed all the risk. Getting that last pawn off the board was the one that tricked Magnus. And Magnus, a bit of a bang there on the table, running out of time. So close, but ultimately Movahed, he deserved it. He controlled most of that game.
Yeah. It's sort of been in the stars. It's been coming for him. He's been up against Magnus now 3 Tuesdays in a row. Yeah. And the 3rd time he gets lucky and he wins it. What does that tell us about the future for this 15-year-old?
Yeah, I mean, that's how kind of every story starts, right? It's never easy. No prodigy ever comes through and beats the top players in the world on their first try. It's just unthinkable. But you have to keep going. You have to believe. Once you make the breakthrough, that's when things can start accelerating. And very impressive. Just the perseverance, the way he's fighting, he's not backing down or not playing boring chess against these guys. He's really going for their throat. It's promising signs for the future.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Round 9 is coming up in a few minutes. You're watching Take and Title Tuesday. We hope you're enjoying the show and the action. Go check us out on YouTube. We do post a lot of videos, a lot of content with Magnus, with other top players. And here is a little bit of a look at what you can expect on the Take YouTube channel.
He's just made 20 moves. Has he survived? No, because it's checkmate.
Yeah, but I made 20 moves.
No, it says 21. 21. But it says survive 20 moves, and you made 20 moves, and you did not survive. So it's $50. $50. I will give you $50.
Okay, yeah.
$50.
60.
55.
60, 70, and you get a free ice cream.
Okay, deal.
I don't know why everyone thinks I calculate well.
Because you actually calculate.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
exactly.
I'm just quitting the interview, okay, sorry. Minute of silence.
Have I been too harsh?
Everything is harsh, come on.
Too generous? I mean, this was the best picture.
Let's find out. He's here, in a school gym on the outskirts of Oslo, facing an opponent he hasn't played in a decade. His former coach, Simon Agdestein.
Just playing the games is, like, regardless of setting, it's nerve-wracking.
So much juicy stuff on the Take YouTube channel. Go check it out. Please follow us and like the channel if you like what you see. We're getting ready now for round 9 here in game week 4 with Alireza Firouzja on top of the standings. Hikaru Nakamura is streaming. We see Arjun Erigaisi finally joining us. It's the first Title Tuesday he plays this season. And of course, Lazovic and Drigalov. A lot of players are streaming Title Tuesday, you guys. Never forget that. One of them is Simon Williams, the Ginger GM. He's actually streaming from the Dave Cave here at the Take offices. Look at that, with his mushroom shirt in the streaming room next to Magnus Carlsen. And Simon is on 8. Where is he? He's on 5 points so far. Simon Williams. Is that a good score for him?
Yeah, he's on a 5-game winning streak.
Really?
Or at least it looks that way. Or, okay, I don't have his 4th result in here, but he's won a few games in a row now.
Okay.
And it was a slow start. He lost his first 2 games, but he's finding the pace. Simon, on a streak.
You can check out his stream on his Ginger GM channels. Always entertaining, you guys. I also noticed Anna Crumling is playing today. I'm trying to find her here on the standings. She is probably streaming as well while she is playing Title Tuesday. Anna Crumling, the streamer from Sweden. All right, so let's see if pairings come up for round 9. I guess we should expect Firouzja against Drigalov. They haven't played yet, have they?
I don't think they have. Firouzja's only dropped half a point to Hikaru Nakamura. Drigalov has been on fire these last few rounds. And I don't believe he's dropped a draw for a while now. It looks like he only drew in round 4 against an IM, but he's been on a winning streak ever since.
Wow. This is a fierce edition of Title Tuesday, you guys. Game week 4, we have never seen these many of the top players, especially this season in the autumn split. They're all here. Hikaru, Magnus, Fabi, Firouzja, Arjun Erigaisi. So many of the top dogs are playing, and we do have 3 rounds left before we name the winner of Game Week 4. Pairings are out. Alireza Firouzja with 7.5 points will have the white pieces against Sergei Drigalov, both on 7.5 points. What's happening on this board, David?
Okay, we've got an open Sicilian. It's the Najdorf variation, with black playing an early pawn to a6 push. That characterizes the Najdorf. Normally, this is one of the most fiery openings you can choose. No solidity here. Very rarely a positional battle. Becomes very dynamic. It's all about the tactics, all about who can get their plans in before their opponents. Becomes a race often with kings on opposite flanks. And here we see Firouzja. Wow, some very quick moves there. But Firouzja attacking the black rook. He's got light squares under his grip in the center. Black's king looks potentially very attackable, very weak there in the center. But in return, black has the long-term potential of these pawns pushing. They could become menacing if they're allowed to step further forward. Also an open line for the black rook to stare down at the white king. So this one has all the ingredients to be a real fight. Drigalov not backing down, not showing any fear to Firouzja, although it is the type of position that Firouzja typically does quite well in.
Alireza Firouzja has historically won Title Tuesday 19 times. He's fighting for number 20 today. He's looking so chill today, so calm, Alireza Firouzja. He is where he loves to be, playing online blitz chess. We were not joined by Alireza last week. He was traveling from the Grand Swiss, probably, and he didn't have a chance to play today. It was announced that he will not feature in the World Cup later this year, meaning he's not going for a spot in next year's candidates. How shocked were you when you saw that, David?
Yeah, I think anyone else I would have been more shocked, but still a bit of surprise. Alireza is still a young guy. He's just 22 years old. He's world champion material. We've heard about that for years.
Yeah.
I mean, he was 2,800 when he was just 18 years old. That's incredible. And yeah, it feels like he'll get a shot at the world title at some point. He'll play in more candidates in future. It's just odd to see them willingly walk away from these opportunities, these young players. I mean, you would never see the likes of Prag or Abdu Satarov turn down an opportunity to, like, even if it's a remote opportunity, small chances, they would never pass up the chance. But Alireza, he's always had other priorities. He's always been his own man. And yeah, we'll see him back in future.
Or is it Magnus Carlsen starting a trend with turning down the World Championship title, not playing that much over the board classical chess anymore, very much stating that the main thing for him is Esports World Cup, Title Tuesday, online chess, playing these kind of events? Do you think Alireza is inspired by that?
Yeah, possibly. Magnus has always been a trendsetter, right? And I think everyone is always influenced by the star players of their time. But it is a sad trend, I've got to say.
Yeah.
We want to see players play more. The good thing for us, though, is that he's going to be playing Title Tuesday nearly every week now. He's going to be trying to get to the Esports World Cup. The bad news for Alireza is that he's in big trouble on the board.
Ooh, look at this. What's happening here, David?
Yeah, just the last few moves have changed everything. I think Alireza had missed that earlier with the Black Rook attacked seemingly by the White Knight. Black didn't even need to react. Black set up a checkmate threat, first of all, on this square, which was defended by the White Rook next to it. But now this rook teaming up as well, the other rook, the queen, everything is pointing in the direction of the White King, which has just moved. And now the big question is, can Drigolov pounce? Can he break through, give up his rook? Rook takes pawn, try to bring his queen into the corner here, and maybe pick off this white rook in the other corner. That would show some real gymnastics, the black queen there, some real agility, but it might also just be very strong. He will win a pawn. He doesn't want to go for it, though. Maybe he's trying to push these pawns forward to win a piece in the process, some forks in the air, but that has given Firouzja some time to defend everything, and the Black King weak too. I'm not going to say this is over. I think it's a big advantage for Black, but still far, far from winning. He needs to find the key breakthrough. Not easy.
I see comments on the YouTube chat saying that this is a crazy game. Would you agree, David?
Yeah. Sicilian defense, I've always steered clear of it because crazy is not my middle name. I can't deal with the chaos that often ensues, but the likes of Alireza and others, especially the new generation, they love this type of position. The black pawns are either very strong or they're very weak. It's that type of position. It's either very good for white or it's very bad. Nothing in between.
We do have other big battles happening here in round 9. Sindarov against Fabiano Caruana. Naroditsky against Hikaru. 2 streamers, 2 Americans, 2 big names fighting it out in round 9. Hikaru is fighting to win Title Tuesday today. Magnus Carlsen, who's had a few bad games, is now up against Bluebaum. Bluebaum, the German who came second in the Grand Swiss and qualified for the candidates. He is actually now better with the black pieces against Magnus Carlsen. And with the black pieces as well, Drigolov is better against Alireza Firouzja, but he is ticking under 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, he's better, but his chances were also better just a few moves ago. This one, he's been a bit confused, I think, Drigolov. We saw him frown. He thought he was winning a piece. Last move, he attacked the white queen. He looked like he was about to win the white knight. But now, if you take this knight, suddenly the white queen takes an undefended rook on the edge of the board. And that was a kind of trick that he tried to trap his opponent with, but he was relying on this. Now, attacking the white queen. If the white queen moves to a bad square, maybe there's a chance you can take this knight. But there are consequences. This black king is sitting in the center. Drigolov, if he isn't able to win material, his attack might just fizzle out, and he's grabbed the knight. He's walking into a discovered check. That's the most brave type of move in chess. When you allow a check, the bishop captures a bishop on the way, so level material yet again, but this has just got even more crazy. The white bishop is under fire, the black knight is pinned, but if it gets unpinned, could attack a bunch of pieces. The white king still caught in no man's land. Kaya, someone's about to blunder. I just don't know who it is.
2 minutes on the clock for Alireza Firouzja. He does have more time on the clock. Drigolov is looking a little bit stressed. Does that mean he is the one who will make that predicted blunder? Crazy game. Difficult stuff happening and so much at stake. These are both on 7.5 points. A winner in this game will be the leader heading into round 10 out of 11. It's getting close to the announcement of the winner of Game Week for you guys.
Yeah, look at the calculation. Both players locked deep into thought, trying to work out the future. And I predicted a blunder. There we go. Alireza Firouzja. He's losing a piece, I believe. Black can win a piece in various ways. This bishop is hanging. Maybe you trade queens first. But Drigolov, is he going to show us the way? He spotted something. He's frowning. He thinks he's seen a win.
And it doesn't seem like Alireza Firouzja has noticed that this queen move he just made is a massive blunder, meaning Drigolov is massively better in the game. Drigolov, look at him. He is studying the position. It definitely looks like he senses something, but he blunders back, David.
He blunders back. There were so many tactics in that position. Maybe trading queens first was the way forward. That bishop as well was hanging in so many variations, but he's miscalculated, I feel here, Drigolov. He's forgotten the fact that after rook takes pawn, now his rook is hanging, his knight is hanging. There's no time to win everything. You're actually losing material here with black because too many pieces will fall with check. Everything comes with a check because it's the black king, not the white king, that sat on a vulnerable line. Oh, Firouzja, look at this. He sacrificed his queen now with this last move. He's taken a knight. If queen takes queen, it's going to be a double check. The white knight is going to come forward with a check, hitting the king from every angle, and the queen will drop back. This is a wild position. Not the best from Firouzja. There was something better, but good enough for a huge advantage. Look at this. Everything coming with check now. The white queen will drop next, and look at this. The rooks, both of them hit simultaneously. You can't defend them. One of the rooks will drop off. Firouzja's going to end up a pawn to the good in a winning endgame.
Look at Alireza Firouzja, better on the bar, much better on the clock. Drigolov with only 14 seconds left, but the bar goes back to slightly better.
Yeah, this is where Firouzja, he's clicking up the gears. He knows he can win on time. It's not even about finding the best moves anymore. It's about trying to set the traps that cost the opponent their last 11 seconds. Drigolov's king has entered the center of the board. Once that clock ticks red, there we go. This is danger time for Drigolov. He needs to pre-move. He needs to get white's rook off the board. Then you can just move on light squares because it's only a bishop left. He's trying to get the rooks off, and Alireza's blundered his rook. Drigolov perks up. 6 seconds. Can he deliver checkmate? The white king is trapped. Black is totally winning. Alireza, in his haste to win the game on time, blundered his rook. Knights are so tricky, and checkmate is coming. The black knight is going to deliver a nasty check. 5 seconds. Drigolov, he's about to win. He's about to turn it around. Alireza has self-destructed. Not much to do. Your king is trapped. There's no way out. He just needs to prolong it as long as possible. He needs to survive 5 more seconds. But there we go. Checkmate about to land. The knight checkmate is coming next move, guaranteed. Alireza leans back in devastation. He's about to resign. The knight is coming in, and look at Drigolov celebrating on the camera, takes the lead.
He cannot believe it. Drigolov, with 4 seconds left on the clock, beats Alireza Firouzja. He takes sole lead in Title Tuesday, Game Week 4. He goes up to 8.5 points in a crazy, crazy game. Alireza Firouzja had this on the board. He had it on the clock. He ends up losing. Look at Drigolov, the celebration. Oh, he is pumped with this win. And how does Alireza Firouzja feel about losing it the way he did?
I mean, there's nothing more devastating than losing a winning position, other than maybe the fact that you had it in your hands and you cost yourself that win. I mean, he switched to flagging mode. We saw it. He was trying to win on the clock. Yeah. He just forgot about his rook. And 5 seconds, that was impressive by Drigolov.
Yeah.
He only spent 1 more second to checkmate from what was still a difficult position to win. Alireza, he's going to be kicking himself now that he took that quick draw with Hikaru. I understand the Falcons have like a peace treaty maybe. They just want to draw those Team Falcon players. But Alireza lost momentum and was punished.
Look at that. Sergei Drigulov takes sole lead with 2 rounds to go. He's on 8.5 points. He's got Hikaru and Sarana right behind him. They're on 8 points. And then we do have 5 players on 7.5. Alireza Fruja and Fabiano Caruana, 2 of those players. Magnus Carlsen on 7 points with only 2 rounds left, and we get the pairings. Of course, it's Hikaru versus Drigulov in this next round. Big battle. Hikaru has to win this. He has to win this to overtake Drigulov on the standings. He has the white pieces. All right, let's go, David.
Yeah, let's go. And Drigulov is definitely feeling pumped in this game. He gets 2 blacks in a row. That's slightly unfortunate in the pairings. That's because both players would do the white pieces. And I guess Hikaru had also had some blacks in the previous rounds. Drigulov, he's going to have to do it the hard way if he's going to win this tournament. Black against Faruja, black against Hikaru. Doesn't get much more difficult than that as he plays another Sicilian. The moves come in thick and fast. This time, Hikaru's playing a much less chaotic variation. He's playing a closed Sicilian. He's got 2 pawns established nicely in the center. He's trying to keep the pieces on the board, keep the tactics far in the future. I think that's a good strategy against someone as dangerous as Drigulov. We saw it there, how kind of speedy he is, how sharp he is. And this looks fantastic now for Hikaru. The black bishop dropping back. The white pawns can push at any moment. This is a dream opening for Hikaru Nakamura, who's ready to leapfrog his opponent with a win if he gets it.
Sergei Drigulov, he's won Title Tuesday once in history. He's up against Hikaru Nakamura, who's won it 106 times, trying to win it for the 107th time today. With 8 points, he needs to win against Drigulov to overtake him on the standings. He is better on the bar right now, Hikaru, and he looks like himself. His head is bopping. He looks like he's in the mood. He's in the zone. He's streaming. He's talking. He's playing fast. Good moves coming in. This could be Hikaru Nakamura's day.
It could be, and Hikaru does these things. He's a very practical guy. He's a very practical player. That's why he's kind of using the system to kind of gain those games, gain those rating points to qualify for the candidates. That's why he's played 2 rounds fewer than everyone else here. He took 2 quick draws. He's had long breaks, so he's full of energy. He's going to be feeling this moment, and I'm being told that earlier on his stream, Hikaru Nakamura, he said he took that quick draw against Faruja because he wanted an easier run at the end. And
all about tactics.
All about tactics. Is he going to be eating his words? Drigulov, no pushover, of course. But then again, with white, kind of on paper, this is a dream pairing for Hikaru. He's got a great position as well, as now he traded a set of knights, pushing forward his bishop. He's trying to push these pawns. And there we go, Drigulov closing the center. Still a nice position for Hikaru. More time on the clock. Much better, says the eval bar, because he's got more space now. This pawn pushing forward into the center. I'm expecting the black knight to try and at least jump to an active square. But yeah, Hikaru, I've got to say, it looks like he's getting the job done. Great start. 1 extra minute as he offers to trade off the remaining set of knights. It's going to be all about the rooks, bishops, and queens, the long range pieces for the rest of this game.
Drigulov is in sole lead heading into this round 10 with his 8.5 points. We have 2 players on 8 points, Hikaru Nakamura and Alexei Sarana. Sarana is now playing against Alireza Fruja, and he's much better. Right now, Sarana is much better against Alireza Fruja. If he wins that game, he's going to go up to 9 points. This is far from over, you guys. Who will win Title Tuesday Game Week 4? It could be one of these 2 players. It's not going to be Magnus Carlsen, probably. He is now playing round 10 against Andrew Tang, and Tang, the Penguin, is much better against Magnus in that round 10 game. But in this one, these 2 are fighting to win Title Tuesday Game Week 4. Hikaru Nakamura is thinking he has much more time on the clock, 1 more minute than Drigulov.
Yeah, and I think this is, again, Hikaru using all of his experience. He knows where he thrives. He knows the type of positions he likes. He knows a bit about Drigulov. They've played each other many times online, so he's made it very quiet, very positional. It's all about squares, not necessarily about the tricks and tactics. And the key reason white is better here is because of this square. If you push the black b-pawn back 1 square, control the white knight from jumping, it's just dead level. But this white knight is now a beast, paralyzing the black army, attacking the queen in the process. The black knight is a bit offside as well, could get trapped. So this is a huge advantage for Hikaru Nakamura. And no risk as well. It's not the type of position where you blunder. We said it earlier, that was the type of position where someone's about to blunder. It's just about who makes the last one. And this time, it's going to be tough for Drigolov with just 2 minutes to solve all of his problems.
But Drigolov, if he's learned something today, is to never give up. He's had some really good results, even if he's been worse on the board. Oh, but massively better now for Hikaru. Is this a blunder by Drigolov?
Yeah, it's a huge tactical blunder by Drigolov. He's forgotten that after this next flurry of moves, first he has to deal with the problem of his knight. But once he saves his knight, for example, by trading off the bishops, we'll see this unfold. Hikaru will now take back that bishop, and when the knight saves itself, whoops, knight fork. The white knight is jumping in, and there we go. It's a fork, hitting the queen, hitting the rook. Hikaru Nakamura is about to calmly, very powerfully take the lead. This is why Hikaru's decision earlier was so impressive. He knew that he could still be behind the leaders, but take them from behind later and leap into the lead, because this is the type of pairing he gets. This is the type of opponent he's so successful against. Exchange up, rook for knight. Drigolov laughing now. He knows he's doomed. White can even think about moves like pawn to g4. Will that win either the black queen or the black knight in the near future? Hikaru calculating. It's the last few moves. He points up to the skies. He's worked it out. Hikaru Nakamura. What's he going to play? I'm predicting a pawn push. There we go. He attacks the black queen. It's going to be tough now to keep the black queen and black knight alive on the board. This could be the final moments. Drigolov, his winning streak is about to be brought to an abrupt end.
Hikaru Nakamura is on fire today. He still has 2.5 minutes left. He's massively better in round 10 against Drigolov, who's ticking down to 1 minute. If Hikaru Nakamura wins this, he goes up to 9 points. He will be on top of the standing. Question is, will he be there on his own, or will there be another player with him? This is round 10 out of 11 rounds.
Yeah, he's back. Either way, Hikaru Nakamura, he's playing more aggressively, playing more purposefully, no more passive waiting around for the opponent to blunder. He was the one who took the bull by the horns in this game. He won that black knight, as we predicted just there. The black queen gets herself out of the danger zone, but it's a full rook up for Hikaru Nakamura right now. Black only has 2 pawns in return, but the pawns are meaningless. Queen trade is going to decide this game. Drigolov looks ready to resign. The pink microphone will not be leading to any more colorful play for the rest of this game. Queen's off the board. Extra rook for Hikaru. This is just a matter of seconds before this game is over. He's going to be winning with the white pieces. He's going to have a great shot at coming first, Hikaru. He might have blundered that pawn. I think he forgot about that, but it's all about the rooks, not about the pawns anymore.
Hikaru Nakamura on fire. He's back. We've been wondering, where is Hikaru Nakamura first 3 game weeks in this new Title Tuesday format? He hasn't been on the podium, but look at this. Hikaru Nakamura is definitely back. He's streaming. He's winning.
He takes the win. Sergei Drigolov there, blundering his second rook. But we jump into another game, which is so important for the standings. Sarana against Firouzja. The clock tells one story. The board tells the rest of it. I don't believe here that Sarana has enough compensation. He's a full rook down. He's a full 50 seconds down. There's no checks. This just should be over. Firouzja is about to take the win, barring a miracle. Sarana earlier was doing so well, but I think he just overplayed his attack there. And now the white king about to get checkmated in no man's land. It's getting kicked all the way back, and there we go. A checkmate in the middle of the board. Game over. Firouzja wins, strikes back.
Comeback from Alireza Firouzja, and he does it with the black pieces against Sarana. He takes the win. He's up on 8.5 points still, with the chance to win Title Tuesday Game Week 4. But we do have Hikaru Nakamura in sole lead with 9 points. Drigolov is also on 8.5, 1 round to go, but this is still round 10. Maxime Vagier-Legrave, great to see him playing Title Tuesday, and he's up against Sindero. Both of these players on 7.5 points, and with clocks ticking.
Clocks are ticking, and clocks should decide this game, because on the board it is dead level. It should be a draw. White has an extra knight, but white has totally run out of pawns. And if the rooks come off the board, the game is immediately drawn. Sinderov now with a time advantage. Only Sinderov can win. The game is declared a draw if white wins on time with just a knight. A knight cannot give checkmate on its own. So it's Vagier-Legrave fighting for his life, fighting for the draw. Should be able to hold it against these pawns now. He's going to give a check. He's going to take a pawn, and okay, the position repeats itself. It is a draw, a result that suits neither player.
Yeah, they both wanted to win this, but a draw means they both go up to 8 points with 1 round to go. But still, games happening here in round 10. Fabiano Caruana is playing. The bar just jumped up for him. Is he winning this round 10 game against Madavi? Bluebaum maybe winning against Magzodlu. Magnus Carlsen has won his round 10 game against Andrew Tang, meaning Magnus is now on 8 points together with a bunch of players. All right, it's going to go down to the final round. David.
Can I make a prediction?
Yes, please.
Hikaru, he's played Firouzja, he's played Drigolov, he's played Caruana, he's played everyone at an 8.5. That means he's going to play someone on 8 points.
Oh, that's true.
Normally, how Chess.com pairings work and Swiss system pairings in general, you play the highest rated player on 8 points. That is Magnus Carlsen.
Oh!
The colors match. Hikaru was just white, Magnus was just black. Maybe they'll play each other in the next round.
All right, it's in the stars, you guys. We have such a packed title Tuesday. This game week 4, we see all the top players playing. We're heading into the final round. It should be between Hikaru Nakamura and Magnus Carlsen, and it is! We will see Magnus Carlsen with the white pieces playing against Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru playing to win his first title Tuesday of the autumn season. He's playing to win game week 4. Magnus Carlsen is playing to stop him.
Magnus Carlsen playing the role of spoiler. Magnus knows he's not going to win Title Tuesday. He's too far behind. His tie breaks aren't in his favor, but playing the role of spoiler, especially against his old rival Hikaru, that's going to motivate him. It's the English opening here, an opening we saw earlier in the day. But this time, it's all about whether Black can break out in the center. Black wants to establish a nice pawn duo on d5, e5. Magnus wants to prevent that. Normally, you do that by bringing out the white knight to hit this pawn in the middle of the board, or you try and break up the pawns. There we go, with a pawn yourself. And quick flurry of moves there. Magnus brings out his queen. This is still well-known stuff. Hikaru Nakamura, a draw should be enough for him, but then tie breaks come into the equation. I think Hikaru would love a draw, though, in this game, as he tries to get the queens off against Magnus with the black pieces.
Yeah. Look at this. Hikaru Nakamura knows he is fighting to win title Tuesday for the 107 times, and no better way to do it for him than in the final game against Magnus Carlsen. These two have, of course, played each other so many times in Title Tuesdays. Magnus Carlsen is up a little bit on the score between them, but it's quite close, and this is definitely a game Hikaru can win.
They've been here before, of course. They've met many times in the final round of Title Tuesday, including just a few weeks ago. A couple of weeks back, Magnus took down Hikaru in the last round. And yeah, will lightning strike twice? It was level, as you said, in their Title Tuesday lifetime scores until just a few weeks back. Magnus, in the meantime, trading queens. He's gone into an endgame where both players thrive. Magnus has also given up his pride and joy, the beautiful light squared bishop, to give Hikaru an isolated pawn. So one small weakness. That is what Magnus is banking on. He's not taking any risk here. I don't think Magnus is in any trouble of losing this game, but whether he can win is another question. Very, very solid play by both, clearly full of mutual respect. And again, Hikaru has upped his game this week, no doubt. It's just about whether he can last the distance. This final hurdle is going to be the toughest.
And for Magnus, of course, he wants to win this as well. He lost the game today. He played 2 draws today. He's not going to win Title Tuesday game week 4, but he really wants to finish on a high. He wants to beat his big rival Hikaru Nakamura, and he also wants to end up as high on the standings as possible. Currently in 10th place with 8 points.
Yeah, and what a field we have. Board 2, Alireza Firouzja against Fabiano Caruana.
Yeah.
We've really brought all the big guns, the Hollywood stars, to this week's Title Tuesday. And okay, a trade of rooks in the air from Hikaru Nakamura. I don't think Magnus will be too happy, you know. It just feels like it's not enough of an advantage to ever hope to win. Black has the 2 bishops. That's got great long-term potential. Black's knight super active. Black's fighting for the open line. Hikaru is very comfortable here, despite the clock. I think that's the one thing in Magnus's favor.
Magnus with his team Liquid shirt. He did win the Esports World Cup a few months ago. Hikaru Nakamura for Team Falcons was knocked out in the semifinals, but it was his teammate Alireza Firouzja who faced Magnus for Team Falcons in the final. Magnus Carlsen won it back then. He took the title in the first ever Esports World Cup. These two both really want to go back. Magnus is already qualified as reigning champ. Hikaru desperately wants to join. He wants to go back to that stage. He wants revenge. He wants to play the final. He wants to win the Esports World Cup as well. Well, it's far away, but Game Week 4 winner is not far away. This is the final round, round 11. Hikaru Nakamura with a win in this game will win Title Tuesday Game Week 4. He is down a little bit on the clock.
Yeah. It's the type of position that could go wrong for Black if you're a bit nervous, maybe, if you play too passively, if you just want to sit and defend. That's why Hikaru is playing very actively. You can see how energetic he is. Bishop pinning the White Knight, preventing the White Knight from jumping, winning pawns. The Black Knight, just a bit of a nuisance here. Just not threatening anything, but just annoying you from that side. Magnus tries to kick that Knight out. He tries to force it to retreat. Very logical move. But that move did cost Magnus 40 seconds. A big, big decision there to invest that much time. The Knight drops back. Magnus ganging up on this central pawn. Small advantage for White. In recent history, it's been all about Magnus in their rivalry in freestyle chess in the Esports World Cup semi-final. Magnus beating Hikaru in Armageddon. But can Hikaru hold? That's the beauty of this exact scenario. He doesn't need to win Hikaru Nakamura. A draw, I think he'd be very, very happy. He trades pieces. He's trying to desperately get that draw. He's defending this pawn. That's all important right now. Level on the clock, level on the board, level on the camera, level on everything. Hikaru Nakamura is feeling happy, I believe.
Both of these players are streaming right now, but they're not speaking a lot. We can see that definitely. That tells us that this is tense, that this does mean a lot for both of them. I do have the opportunity to turn the sound on. Magnus, I'm going to try to do that, even if it's silent right now. Let's see if Magnus talks.
33. We'll see. F6. I'm running into all sorts of shit.
He is not happy, David.
Magnus Carlsen, using a bit of a...
Just not good chess. I didn't even have time to go F3 and G4.
Using a bit of a naughty word, I was going to say.
We can see Hikaru now is much better on the bar, David. What's happening here?
Yeah, Magnus said he just needed one move. He needs to push this pawn forward, push his other pawn forward. The problem is his bishop is trapped. That is why Black is better. The Black pawn is hunting down this bishop. And really interesting to get a peek into Magnus's mindset there, because Hikaru doubling down on that threat, trapping the white piece. That's what Magnus has missed. That's what he's hating. Ooh, desperation pushing his pawn forward. That pawn is easy pickings for the black pieces now. The black bishop is going to hunt that one down. Magnus has sacrificed a pawn in his desperation. It's turning. And that's not good news for Magnus Carlsen fans. Fantastic news for Hikaru Nakamura and his legion of fans as well. Big mistake there from Magnus Carlsen. He's just got all of his pieces tangled up in the center. They're hitting against a granite wall here. They're hitting against the pawn that's too well defended. Black is up a pawn. Black is threatening to win a bishop. Hikaru Nakamura is threatening to win Titled Tuesday here and now. 30 seconds more than his opponent. Magnus, he's just lost the thread.
Look at Hikaru Nakamura. He's making a comeback in Title Tuesday. He's massively better against Magnus Carlsen, who's won it 2 Tuesdays in a row. But look at Hikaru. He's going for Tuesday glory today. Playing fantastic chess, massively better. If he wins this against Magnus Carlsen, he will win Title Tuesday for the first time in the autumn split. He's going to score some very important points on the Champions Chess Tour standings, and he's going to be very happy.
Yeah, big question for Hikaru Nakamura now. Does he trade knights, go to a pure opposite color bishop endgame? He does. He could have kept knights on the board, taking a bit less risk. Black has 3 versus 1 on the right flank, so should be able to create 2 protected, connected passed pawns there. Should be winning for Hikaru, but still some work to be done. It's all about the clock as well. Magnus is going to find this a nightmare to defend. It's Hikaru Nakamura. The bar says he's winning. I believe he's winning. He thinks he's winning, but can he get that ball over the line? Can he put it in the back of the net, knock Magnus Carlsen down? He's woken up Hikaru. This whole event, this whole week, he's looked alive. And he's getting closer now. This pawn, once he steps forward with his king, it's about the H pawn. It's going to run forward. It's going to promote. It is inevitable. Magnus Carlsen is going down. simple plan. I think it's over. Magnus is about to resign. He realizes there's nothing to be done against the plan of that pawn pushing and promoting on a light square.
Magnus Carlsen in huge trouble, 30 seconds on the clock, and Hikaru Nakamura, his big online rival, is massively better. This is world number 1 against world number 2, and today is Hikaru Nakamura's day. He is looking fierce, and he's about to beat Magnus Carlsen in this round 11 game to take game week 4 victory.
2 pawns up, Hikaru Nakamura. He's about to be far more than that up, not just on the clock. It's all about the board, as these 2 pawns are just so strong. At the right moment, he's going to go the other way with this king. There we go. The white king is going to be trapped, immobilized, defending against the black pawns. And okay, Hikaru is still going the long way round. Eventually, when the time is right, he's going to push forward, and one of these 2 pawns is going to cost white his bishop. Magnus Carlsen gets ready to resign. There we go. Hikaru Nakamura wins Title Tuesday.
Congratulations to the great Hikaru Nakamura. He takes the first Title Tuesday win in the new format. He wins Game Week 4 in the autumn split. He scores 10 points for the 43rd time in his Title Tuesday career. Amazing play by Hikaru today. He makes a comeback after struggling in the first 3 game weeks. For Magnus Carlsen, it didn't work out today. He ends up on 8 points, losing also in that final round to his rival, Hikaru Nakamura. Not Magnus's day today, David.
Yeah, something was just slightly off. I think maybe a bit slower than normal, Magnus. Not handling the endgames as well as he normally does. He entered that endgame slightly better against Hikaru. 10 moves later, he was clearly worse. But yeah, I mean, taking nothing away from Hikaru, he deserved it this week. Full control. I questioned him when he took the draw against Firouzja.
Yeah.
He was half a point behind Firouzja, but then he ends up half a point ahead.
Yeah.
Masterstroke, genius.
He is clever, Hikaru Nakamura. What was different today?
Energy. He was playing on the front foot, attacking. His openings were better, sharper. He was not letting his opponents get to him. He was much quicker, Hikaru, and he looked more confident, sharper on the camera.
Definitely. It's good to see Hikaru Nakamura back where he belongs on the podium in Title Tuesday, and he takes first place today with 10 out of 11 points. Alireza Firouzja secures second place. He beats Fabiano Caruana in the final round to score 9.5 points, and then we do have 5 players on 9 points. Remember this, the top 10 players that score points on the Champions Chess Tour standings. Magnus Carlsen today is outside. And look at that, Sina Movahed also ends up outside after beating Magnus Carlsen finally today for Sina Movahed. But it is Hikaru Nakamura on top of the standings. Look at that. Do you think this means a lot to Hikaru to show that, yeah, he can also play fantastic chess with 5+0?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a question. He can play fantastic chess with no increment. We saw at the Esports World Cup where he nearly beat Magnus, such small margins. I think just the fact that he had a few off weeks, we're just not used to it. We're so used over the last 10 plus years of him dominating Title Tuesday, winning most weeks. And yeah, just nice to see him back at his best. I think that's going to raise the bar now for everyone. Hikaru at his best is going to force Firouzja to step up, going to force Magnus to go back up per level. It's going to force everyone else to come and play. I hope we see even more names this time, but I mean, such a stellar cast. Naroditsky, 5th place, great result for him. Vidit, Caruana getting their first Champions Chess Tour points. It's been a good week.
It's really been a good week. Now, we have, of course, requested an interview with the winner, Hikaru. He has turned us down. Bummer. It would have been great to hear from him, hear his thoughts after making this comeback and scoring points on the Champions Chess Tour standings and winning Title Tuesday for the 107th time, David. What a legend.
Yeah, I mean, if we assume that Title Tuesday has been weekly, he's won pretty much over 2 years at this point of Title Tuesdays. It's not going to be matched, I believe. Magnus is still far behind. Magnus has played less, but yeah, Hikaru is setting a new standard. He's been a trendsetter in online chess for years, and it's appropriate that he wins in this new format. It was a matter of time, and he did it.
Yeah. Of course, we should also mention there's 2 French players in second and third, Alireza Firouzja, but Maxime Vachier-Lagrave takes third place. It's been so good to see him back in Title Tuesday. He is one of those 90s generations players. Been in the top for so many years, ever since I started working with chess. Maxime's been there. And here he shows off in this format as well with 5+0. Is that surprising, or is MVL definitely a player that should be up here?
Yeah, I think the lack of increment helps MVL. And again, it kind of bucks conventional wisdom. The older you get, surely you should slow down. Surely you need a bit of increment. But no, Vasily Grav is so instinctive. He's known as the calculator, the professor. He's so quick, so sharp. He knows endgames off by heart. He really trusts his instincts. I don't think anyone's as confident as MVL when they make moves. So yeah, nice to see him on form. But definitely this format is kind of tailor-made for Maxim Vasily Grav.
100%. Alexei Sarana is here, Daniel Naroditsky is here. We see so many of the top guns. This has been a tough title Tuesday with many of the best players in the world. We've had so much action. Drama on the board, drama on the clocks. Let's finally take a look at one more action replay. One of our favorite moments today is this one, round 9 between Alireza Firouzja and Sergei Drigolov. This was dramatic.
That was the moment where the white rook dropped off the board. Firouzja could have put it on any safe square and would have won this game. Firouzja would have won the tournament if he had kept that rook on the board. He went on to win the rest of his games after this, but there we see small margins. And 5 seconds for Drigolov. Not enough to checkmate in most positions, but here, just due to the fact the white king started on the edge of the board, that helped him so much. Firouzja too late, spending those seconds, those valuable seconds he'd amassed on the clock, but realizing now that it's over. The black rook gives a check, the black knight comes in, guaranteed checkmate on the next move with the knight coming into g3 or f2. Firouzja leans back in disgust. Self-inflicted, and Drigolov, I've never seen such a happy man as that.
I know. I love that reaction. It really means something to win these games in Title Tuesday. That was a huge one for Drigolov. For Alireza Firouzja, can we kind of compare it to football or soccer, David, when you play too much on your lead? You put all your players in defense. Yeah. You're just too safe.
You're running the ball to the corner flag, kind of waste a bit of time. You can just keep the ball and probably win the game. But no, he gave the ball back, and I mean a bit of an own goal there to lose that one.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've been waiting for some reaction from these top players. We've been turned down. Magnus has also left the building, not happy today. He ends up in 16th place, but we do have someone coming in to join us here in the studio. I'm just going to wave him in, and it's our great friend, Simon Williams. Taking a seat here. Ginger GM, Simon Williams, has been our guest streamer here at the Take office. Did you enjoy the Dave Cave?
Yeah, it was a nice little cave. I'm not sure I enjoyed the chess too much, but it was good fun. It was entertaining. Yeah. And you got a nice little cave there, Dave. So
thank you.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You ended up, Simon, on
I think 6 maybe. So 6 out of 11. I started off like terribly. I think I lost my first like 3 games or something. Then I lost my last 2 games. So if it was the middle part, then it would have been okay. But yeah, there's just a lot of good players. There's so many good players, even like these people you haven't heard about. They're 20, 28, 2900, and they're just very good, very strong. So, but it was fun.
Yeah.
In parts. It's never nice losing. I'm a bad loser, so I'm a little bit grumpy, but not too grumpy. So, yeah.
It's good to see. 6 out of 11 for you today, Simon. We did agree before you played that you had everything to blame today because you had massive transport issues. You spent the night in an airport. You hardly slept anything.
Yeah.
So basically, pressure was off today.
Yeah, the pressure was off. I mean, I haven't really slept, but I mean, that's part of the process sometimes, isn't it? But I felt okay, to be honest. So I got no excuses really. I mean, I flew in yesterday, and there was some like UFO attack or something on Oslo, and had to try and sleep for it. Yeah, no, it was interesting, but it ended up being like 15-hour journey or something. So
Holy cow. Yeah. That's brutal. Now, you were kind of anxious on seeing this 5+0. This is, I think, the second Title Tuesday you play this season, or the third?
I think I've played 3, but I've rage quit the last 2.
That's what I thought.
So this is like the first one I finished.
And you
maybe.
couldn't rage
So
quit today since you were here.
I had no choice. After
Yeah.
3 rounds, I really wanted to rage quit, but I was like, oh my God, I'm stuck in Dave's cave. I can't get out. What do I do? I've got to play. So I had to start winning. But I had no option.
Well, I like that
but-
option, starting winning instead of rage quitting.
Yeah, no,
Much
it's
better.
good. So you got to bounce back and when things go wrong. That's the important thing. But yeah, no, I really like the tournament. I think it's much more exciting.
Even to play it or just to watch it?
Yeah, to play in. Yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to. I mean, I think me and Dave, when we started playing, it was what the tournament used to be. You can flag your opponent. That's part of the game. So if someone takes too long, it's their own fault, and it adds a bit of excitement to the tournament. So yeah, I approve. Yeah.
Great to hear. Now, Simon, we did see Hikaru Nakamura make a comeback today. He won Title Tuesday. Are you? What do you think about? He's been struggling first 3 Tuesdays in this new format, and today he made that comeback. Have you expected that to happen at some point?
Yeah, I mean, you got to expect Hikaru to win a Title Tuesday. It wouldn't really be Tuesday without him winning.
Yeah.
He's got to win. He's just too good to not win. I mean, he calculates so well. He's very confident, and it was going to happen. I obviously didn't see many of the games. He beat Magnus in the last one with black.
Yeah.
So it's a great result, and it's like back to normality, I guess, for these guys, really. So yeah.
I guess that's the highlight for Hikaru today, finishing off with a win against Magnus. What was the highlight for you today? You talk about your losses, Simon, but let's talk about the good moments. What was your favorite today?
Seeing you two, of course.
Oh,
bringing a smile to my face, and couldn't be better than So seeing your friendly faces,
likewise.
And I had a beer during it. That was also quite a highlight.
Oh,
So,
lucky you!
Yeah, I lost 3 in a row, had a beer, won the next 5. Go figure.
That's the recipe.
So this is perfect. So,
I heard Magnus Carlsen do similar things in history. You did have a winning streak of what was that, like 5 games in a row?
Yeah, something. Yeah, it went all right in the middle. So
Yeah?
Then so it was okay in parts. Yeah.
So I guess there's a lesson in here, David. Never rage quit.
Yeah, I mean,
or is that easy for me who doesn't play Title Tuesday?
easy to say. We've all been there. Like, I've rage quit countless times. Magnus rage quit Freestyle Friday a few days ago. But no, perseverance is key. And Simon, what are your plans going forward with Title Tuesday? We're going to see you make an appearance every week now. Try to go on a 6-game winning streak, then 7, then 8, then 9.
I'll play, but I'm probably not going to get that same route again in, because it's like flying to Australia every Tuesday. So probably the same length. But no, I try to play every week. I love playing. It's been the best tournament for a while, and it has got better. I mean, people can watch your lovely broadcasts. They can watch, the best player ever, Magnus broadcast, Hikaru. Crap player like me broadcast if they want. There's a lot of stuff going on. So and it's really good. I mean, there's so many strong players. It's always fun. It's always exciting. So I'll definitely try to continue playing, but I'll probably also rage quit a couple of times as well. So yeah, if it goes bad, yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So to our Norwegian fans, Simon, are you heading to the good night tonight? Can they meet you there?
Yeah, maybe.
Or are you too tired?
I'm either going to go to the good night or have a good night. I'm not,
one of the other.
Yeah, I'm pretty spaced out at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll lack sleep. So we'll see. Yeah.
Always fantastic to have you.
Talking of spaced out, Simon, can I ask the kind of inspiration behind the mushroom
Oh,
t-shirt?
that's a good question.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nice and colourful. I thought I always wear black. I thought I'd try to put a bit of colour on, and these grow quite near me in Britain. They're quite famous. I think you can get them in Norway. A lot of the druids in Britain used to use these.
Is it poison or can you eat this?
It is poisonous, but if brewed in the right way, I think the druids used to use them to have some funky dreams.
All right.
But anyway, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
I like it. The mushroom shirt. Yeah. Very nice. All right. Before we say thank you for today, we're going to take a look at the Champions Chess Tour standings. After 4 Title Tuesday game weeks, this is the autumn split. It is 13 game weeks, and your top 8 results will count towards the Esports the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard. Magnus Carlsen is still on top with his 23 points, didn't score any points today. Sarana, second place, 17, and Alireza Fruja scoring points today. He's in third with 12 points, and look at that, Hikaru Nakamura is now inside the player pack that qualifies for next year's EWC. He is on 11 points, scoring 10 points for his win today. Still no Indians inside, though. David.
Yeah, not the most successful week for Indian players. They haven't been playing throughout the first 3 weeks either. I should mention Vidit got his first point or two this week, so he'll be moving up those standings outside the top 10 for now. But yeah, hopefully this is going to inspire some of those other top players to play, having seen how stacked the field was this week.
Yeah, would be cool to see a player like Prag in Title Tuesday as well. He is great in this format. All right.
Come on, Gukesh. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. Got to play next week.
Come on, Gukesh. Come on, Prag. Come on, India. Get your players to sign up for Title Tuesday. It's all about qualifying for the Esports World Cup next year. And oh my, it's fun. It's been dramatic today. We've seen a lot of drama on the board, a lot of drama on the clock. We've seen the top players fight it out, and eventually Hikaru Nakamura came out victorious. He wins for the first time this season. He is the Gameweek champion. Who will win Gameweek 5? We're going to find out in a week. But for now, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next Tuesday.
Magnus!
Oh!
Is that a blunder? Apparently this is a big, big mistake. 7 seconds versus 8 seconds. It's a race. Hikaru is totally winning on the board. So 1 second for the opponent. 1 second each. 2 seconds each. Who's going to win on time? Can Hikaru deliver checkmate? He gives checkmate. Magnus is taking a risk though. He's let the black king forward. It's a race. Whose king is going to take the enemy pawn first? And Arjun Erigaisi walks into a fork, blunders his bishop. Magnus takes the last pawn. Magnus Carlsen's about to make a new queen, and Arjun resigns.
He's only 15 years old. He's got 15 seconds on the clock. He's massively better.
Magnus down to 2 seconds. Queen trade. Queen trades. Queen's off the board. Rook taking the pawn. Magnus Carlsen loses on time.
Sticky mouse, slow hand, slow brain. Yuck.
Alireza's blundered his rook. Drigolov perks up. 6 seconds. Can he deliver checkmate? The white king is trapped. Black is totally winning. The knight is coming in, and look at Drigolov celebrating on the camera. Takes the lead.
He cannot believe it. Drigolov with 4 seconds left on the clock.
Here we go.
Okay, let's figure out.